99人から生き残るバトルロイヤル、その名もテトリス99。あの定番パズルゲームテトリスがオンライン専用のバトルロイヤルゲームとして登場。任天堂スイッチオンライン加入者限定特典として無料でプレイ可能。攻撃されたらやり返せ。
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and this is The Real, episode 147 of GG's The Mouthful podcast.
Oh, wait a minute. We already started?
Do we have to start over?
No. Let's make it. Okay. GG!
There it is. That's what I was waiting for.
Sorry. I caught me completely off guard. You know,
Did I?
I need to be prepared for this thing.
Okay.
I'm totally not faking the fact that I was caught off guard. I mean,
Clearly.
Is my acting
Yes.
that bad?
No, not at all. Not at all. Unless you're, from the USA Network or...
Netflix?
That's messed up. I wasn't going to say Netflix. No. Thanks so much for tuning in. That voice, of course, is Mr. David Santos, a.k.a. Dream Twister. What is up, sir?
Good to be here.
Good
to be here. Yes.
It is.
It is Friday. We're having our beer. We had our pizza.
We had...
By the way, we almost didn't have it.
Pizza that was shaken but not stirred.
Yes. Our pizza got here late, but of course, I wasn't going to complain about it because I was advised of what happened.
The pizza driver did not make it here.
The pizza driver did not make it, unfortunately. Yes. I mean, heaven forbid. It's okay.
He's alive.
He had an accident. He got rear-ended, and then he rear-ended the other person in front of him, which makes you think already, like, okay, so this was a serious accident, And I asked the girl, hey, so is he okay? And and she is telling me, no, he's fine. I told her, make sure that he gets himself checked in anyway.
Yeah,
because you don't know. That sounds like it was kind of messy.
Yeah, I mean, if you got hit hard enough to hit the person, I mean, unless you're at a stop, a stoplight or something.
Yeah,
you got hit hard enough to hit the person in front of you. That can whiplash you, depending on your age. You're 21, maybe you'll bounce back from.
You
that,
could develop some serious, back and neck problems.
Yeah.
So of course,
you can also develop some serious lawsuit issues.
That's true. Yes.
You don't want that.
You can have the case of the lawsuits.
Yes.
Which
is contagious. So I hear.
Yes, especially in this country.
Exactly.
So of course, this throws me into like a guilt feeling. As I'm eating my pizza, I'm like, if I didn't have ordered this pizza at the time that I ordered it, I could have avoided this accident.
Not me. And I have zero.
He says,
I was like, hey, he's alive. We're fine. He's alive. We got pizza. It is what it is.
That is cold. Yeah,
cold. I guess it's not like he died.
No, heaven forbid.
So he's fine.
I guess at the end of the day, everybody, he probably win a good lawsuit. And
yeah, I think so.
We got our pizza. It was still warm.
Yeah, and it was warm. Yes.
Yeah.
They probably threw in the nuker real quick. Maybe just put it on top of the engine. Just let it warm up.
Just let it warm off, Yeah.
It'll be fine. I'm all right with that.
I'm okay with that because
it tasted good.
It worked out.
Smelled a little gassy, but it tastes good.
You want to season it with oil.
Motor oil.
A
little bit of motor oil. Oh, man. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If this is your first time, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. And, of course, please go to goodgame.tech and join the conversation there. It takes you right to our Facebook group. And we would love to have you join that group. Also, yes, I do want to go over a little bit of housekeeping. Episode 148 will still be coming out as normal on a Saturday.
By the way, which episode is this?
This is 147, the real 147. Yeah.
All right.
The real 148.
Well, I'll make sure because we got people say, "Oh, you didn't even say what." I'm lost now. I've lost count. How many podcasts I have to start all over?
God forbid they write this on the actual podcast. No, the 148 will be recorded a little earlier. It'll be a little smaller because next week I will be in Vegas.
Oh, snap.
Yes. And of course, we all know what happens in Vegas.
Yeah, he
Stays
can't talk
in
about what happened in Vegas.
Yeah,
Yes,
buddy.
Yes.
Yes. No hangover for us. We're not going through that. That's for sure.
It's not a hangover if it's not over.
This is true.
Bring the hangover.
Keep it going, yeah.
Yeah, keep it
Just
going.
keep it going. Bring it back this
I'm
way.
playing.
So we will record an earlier podcast, but it will air on Saturday, of course, of next weekend. So you won't even notice, but just know that you may not see all the news like normal because
I was gonna say we probably wouldn't have needed to disclose that, and probably people would have noticed. Hey, this podcast format is different.
Yeah, because it's going to be mostly. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch tomorrow Alita Battle Angel.
Yes, we are,
and we're going to have a full review and spoiler on that, which will be next week's episode.
Yeah, but we'll let you know when we start into
the spoilers. Correct.
So,
We'll keep it light in the beginning and then just go full throttle towards the end. And
I mean, we're going on the week. I'm sure that we would have done something on the weekend. You know,
I'm sure
too, I did. I cut my grass. And,
sure.
After that,
yeah, we'll throw that in there.
Yeah.
Just
I'm sure I'll have time to play Sun. I mean, there's like 17 games that came out this week alone.
You're right. Yeah, for real. All right. What we normally do, guys, is we first off start with what we've been up to, then move on to some news items, and finally finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic.
I forgot what it was.
Jesus Christ, I swear. This is what happens when you get old.
Checking in. No. We are checking. I mean, that's not the name of it, but we're checking in with Activision. Because we did one with EA.
Yes, that's right. Well, it's okay. I got it. Unrealistic Expectations.
Unrealistic Expectations. Yes. And featuring Activision because of some news that we're gonna talk about later on. But it applies to the whole gaming industry in general.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. Absolutely. All right, so let's start the show, sir. What in the world
is Carmen Sandiego?
Where's she at?
Is in San Martin right now?
No, actually, she's on Netflix.
She is on Netflix.
She's on Netflix, yes.
That's right.
Carmen Sandiego animated series.
Okay, so if it's an animated, so the rule of Netflix is if it's an animated feature, then it's probably gonna be good.
True.
If it's a movie, it's probably gonna be bad.
It depends.
It depends.
They've set the bar already. I've said this. Netflix has set the bar.
You have to play the odds.
Yes, at this point, yes, you are playing the odds. It is very Vegas,
yeah,
as we all know.
Yes, exactly. As you will know. Next week. So, what have I been playing? I did play a couple of things. I'm still trying to go into Ace Combat, but I'm not going to talk a lot about it because honestly, there's not much to talk about. That game is frustrating as all get up. It is ridiculous frustrating to the point where I literally have to stop playing because I'm getting to that level that those rage levels that just make you tremble like you had tremble.
Break something, yeah.
Yes, exactly. You want to turn into Fred Durst. It's one of those days where you want to. Anyway,
okay.
That song, whatever that song was. Shit, I forgot what games that.
I have no idea. You should have a list of this stuff, sir. I'm just saying.
I know. I should put it. Well, it's
Apex Legends. We all know it's just Apex Legends. Yes. It's a lot of Apex Legends.
Okay, fine. I have been playing a lot of Apex Legends, and that is the reason why I can't remember anything else that I've played. I think at one point I started playing again Dragon Quest 11.
Oh,
but
yes,
I started from the beginning because it's been a while, and then I left it. And I was like, okay, I'm not ready for this yet. I want to go back and play Apex Legend, which I've been playing on PC and on PlayStation 4.
What level are you in PC?
9.
Oh,
I think I'm on the same level.
Yeah.
I have. I mean, when I say I've been playing a lot, I don't mean it in the sense that some of you guys that probably have a lot more time and you can dedicate. You probably
level 40 guys,
level 9, whatever. I'm like I already triple prestige and whatever because you see them.
Prestige too?
I hope not.
I hope so.
But I see people that you don't see the level that they are. So it's like okay, so they just have like a star or something. So those people have been spending way too much time on it, and I don't blame them because the game is fantastic.
It is very good, yes.
But I only play whenever I get a chance, and I'm playing on 2 platforms. So usually when I don't see you guys around on PlayStation 4, I jump into the PC. And PC, I'm playing with randos because no one else is a believer. For some reason, people are still skeptical about about
PC.
Yeah, of my friend, of our circle of friends. The people, people on the group. I'm sure there are a couple, but we have never gotten to yet. Like on PlayStation 4, I see you guys, for example. Oh, you guys will invite me. I'll jump in and play for a little bit. I played with Gilberto.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the week, it was super fun. Gilberto and Luna.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And shout out to Luna. And I was. I had a ton of fun, even though I was doing terrible.
Yeah, I'm horrible.
Terrible. But you get your kills here and there.
But I mean, like we were playing with Joey, and that dude like eliminated like squads. I'm like, damn, And to be fair, he plays a lot of first person. I mean, he's a first person shooter guy. Yeah. So, but yeah. I just like it's like, all right, I'm coming, and then he goes squad eliminators. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. It's already done.
I'm like, okay, all right.
So whenever I see that, I want to play. I want to play offensively, but then I get killed like immediately.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, sometimes I feel like I'm playing a little too cautious. I'm always backing away. Where I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to take a head off.
Yeah, you need to.
And then of course I get capped in the forehead. I'm like, all right,
I know.
I get an A for effort there.
I've been maining for the most part. I've been maining Lifeline, which I try to be useful with her, but I mean she is a support ass character as support because you have no offensive basically. It's healing. And you want to stay on the back, so that means you're not racking off kills. But then, are you getting at least recognition from your resurrections and stuff like that? I'm sure you are, but you want to be killing, so I have this dilemma. So I started playing with Mirage, and I really like Mirage, except that I'm not great at and for some reason I feel like on the PC that people already have like the skill level that they have accomplished. It's like a massive difference, On PlayStation, I feel like people are still getting the hang of, of the game, and everybody is almost in equal ground. Of course, that feeling disappears the more and more,
The higher level you get, the more people you put together.
Yeah, exactly. It's because people are practicing and getting better at it. But at least the skill range on PlayStation is adequate for me, whether on PC. Yes, I'm getting more kills on PC, but I'm also lasting less, and which is okay because part of the fun is, I mean, you get killed, you get back into that game, into the game real easy. Like I like that aspect. There's no. Okay, I'm going back to the screen, and now the screen is going to throw me into this area while it loads everybody. I'm going to be in this area, this practice range area.
Yeah, I'm glad they don't do that. I'm so glad they don't do that.
Yeah. No.
I was like, man, we don't need this. Basically, it's happening, but it's happening in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't have to be part of that experience. You know what I mean? It's just, hey, it'll pull all the people together. It's only 60 people anyway, so.
And that's another thing. I feel like
and so that makes it quicker matches. It also has a little more strategy behind it because of that. I think that's really cool.
Well, forcing everybody onto squads means that
you got to work together.
Yes, yeah. And I hear you. I hear the people that say, man, I wish this game has solo modes. And I'm thinking, oh man, but I feel like yes, it is necessary for those who want it, but I feel like that one of the things that differentiate this game is forcing you into that squad. I
think so too. I think it works better this way.
Yeah,
you work as a team, you learn as a team. You know why those people are doing good? It's because they know how to work as a team.
They know how to. They're communicating.
I mean? And the whole deal, the whole deal is, you know what? You just got to get better as a team. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like the moment they open singles, solo, that it's gonna dilute a little bit. So maybe you won't be finding game, or they won't be loading as fast. Or who knows? I mean, that game is still catching momentum, man.
It sure is.
It's getting crazy now. I believe this week alone, they released the first patch and the first mini event or something where they were celebrating Valentine.
Oh yes.
But like I haven't checked Like I played it after the patch, but I haven't checked like what are the specifics on it or anything like that. But I did play the 2 characters you can unlock. I bought Mirage, like I mentioned. I bought Mirage on the PC and Caustic on the PlayStation 4.
Nice.
And it's cool because that way I could get a hang of both characters. And I really like Mirage, but I can see the appeal of Caustic also because of as long as you're playing and putting your traps, your gas trap smartly, you are handling damage.
Yeah.
Basically. So and they could be used very strategically to again make those choke point where the enemy won't be able to see you, but you can see them, and just
I can see a combination of those 2 characters with some of the other ones that are available being really, really OP if you know how to use them. You know what I mean? I've only been maining. I can't remember her name now, but Banglador or
something.
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh. Yeah,
why not?
sure.
I've only been maining her because I want to just
the
focus
female
on
Soldier 76. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. She has these gas canisters that essentially are for smoke cover and all that stuff, and I can see that being great with a combination of some of those other guys.
Or when you're getting shot, she runs I understand twice as fast.
She does.
So that's so see, that's what I'm saying. Every character has that specific like defensive or offensive thing that they could use. You can throw a smoke bomb. You can see through wall. You can tell where everybody is, and they can't see you. But with Lifeline, of course, it's not to lower her impact. You need a life. I feel like you need a lifeline on every team. Some might disagree with me, but that's what I feel so far. It is having that healing, but then you have to understand that you can't be playing offensive, super offensively with her because you don't have those escape mechanisms. You don't have that offensive capability that you can use. Suddenly you find yourself in a firefight. You are a weak character, even though you have the same hit points as everybody else. But compared to the powers of everybody else, you are weak. Your strength is, hey, I can heal fast, I can rest fast, and I can probably gear faster with the supply drops, which I love. I've always liked playing supporting characters.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my Apex minute. I'm in love with that game so far. I'm telling you, so far this year, and I recognize there have been a lot of great games, and I think I posted, Resident Evil 2, which I'm sure you're gonna give us your minute of Resident Evil 2. Like so far, the year has started very good, very strong, and we have games that are still coming out, just like today. You can already start playing Anthem, for example.
If you pre-ordered via, was it Origin or something like that?
If you pre-order via, I don't know. Oh, well, if you have Origin Prime or whatever, that's what I did. I paid $14.95. I'll play for 30 days, and that'll be my fill. Unless I, end up like, unless I find that it's like incredible. But so far, and nothing that I've seen makes me think, oh, this is incredible. Everything goes to, okay, this is probably going to be fun, probably for 2 weeks, and then that's it.
And then I'm good.
For me, I'm not building in the game or anything like that. I know that the game has its fans, and I hope that it surprises me. And because let me tell you, The Division 2 did not. At least that demo, it was even the demo. If it would have run perfect, it didn't feel like it have enough differences, to get me excited about it. And I kind of knew, but I was hoping that demo has something. Oh, that beta. Well, demo, because there's close to release anyway. So let's call it what it is. I don't think they're going to have enough time to address the bugs that the game had. Not all of them, certainly. But
I'm sure it'll have like kind of a major update.
Oh, yeah, it will. And to be fair, preliminary reports of this of Anthem have been very positive. Apparently people have been finding it like, oh, yeah, they actually made it a lot better to fly on PC with keyboard and mouse, or the game is not dropping me.
Just use a controller. It's PvE.
We're not gonna go into this
I know.
argument.
We're not gonna go into this argument, but just sidebar real quick, guys. This is a PvE game.
What does it?
What do you need these freaking amazing precision for? Just use a fucking controller.
But it makes you're making it sound like using a keyboard and mouse is a hindrance, and they're seeing
evidently it is.
They're seeing it as up. No, but this is different. This is the flying. It was a little bit more complex, and it wasn't great with controls.
It was fine with controls.
No, actually, they are adjusting that also because people have been.
So they're just making it better than.
Yeah, they're gonna.
So it was great, and now they're making it even better.
Okay,
so
sure.
that's what we're saying. So yeah, we're just improving on the greatness of the flying.
Keyboard and mouse is not a hindrance. You're talking to. I think you still see keyboard and mouse as is. I have no gamepad, so therefore I guess I have to use this.
Pretty much, that's exactly what it is.
That is a skew. Of all the people that have open mind, that's the most open minded.
Sorry, man. I can't with that. I can't. It's like this is what's the with this? Get this out of here. This is not.
It is the perfect.
It is
literally the
now
perfect.
It's the perfect. Okay.
It is.
All right. All right. Now I'm done.
So
you were saying.
Oh, topic of the week sometime. Maybe
we sure.
We sure.
Just be prepared. Sir.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
So yeah, we got that. We got so Anthem. We got what was I going to say? Far Cry, New Dawn, which also saw the reviews. They say it's not terrible, but it has a okay. The price is okay for what it is, and
it's like a 73 Metacritic or something like that right now.
Oh, is it? Okay, so that's a little bit worse than I saw like at the beginning. But that's a game that I would pick up at $20 at some point. I'll play because I need to know where that story is headed. Because the story of Far Cry 5, oh well. And I'm not saying that Far Cry 5 was a great game because it wasn't, but it kept me occupied and it kept me entertained. So sure, why not? I'll throw, whenever it goes on sale, I'll wait for a deep sale. For this one. And what's the other one? There was
Crackdown. Crackdown 3's out.
Crackdown 3.
That's got a 62 Metacritic or something like that.
Yeah. What is going on, Microsoft? Oh wow,
dude.
Oh,
I don't know. I feel bad.
No, at this point,
I feel like, man.
At this point, it's undefensible. At this point, there's just no way.
To be fair. Did you really think it was? I mean, think of all the delays and the time and the freaking cloud processing and all this craziness. Just like some point you're going, yeah, this is not going to be.
I thought it was. I tell you, I thought it was because I thought one of the reasons for the delay, or I was hoping, one of the reasons for the delays was that. No. Oh, yes, of course. First of all, it has Terry Crews in it. But no,
selling point number one.
Yes, you need the power of the cloud to move his muscles, to render his muscles.
Yes,
no, so you got Terry Crews. Oh, damn it! I didn't mean to say that. So you have Crackdown. I was thinking that the reason for the delays was because they're just looking to perfect this formula because they knew that Crackdown 2 was garbage. Well, the original Crackdown. Slip of the tongue.
Oh, I love it.
The original Crackdown, it wasn't that it was a like a great story or anything like that. It was that the game was fucking fun. Uh-huh. It was fun to jump around, to see your character transform as you were getting these orbs. Every time you will hear the orbs, the collectathons on this. For some reason, this game made fucking collectathons fun. And also useful because not only you saw your character like physically, looking more badass, but the car also that you were driving will also physically look more badass. And it was a ridiculous story. It was great, dude. Crackdown. It was magic. It was.
They're 1 out of 3. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
I feel like that's the problem. Like,
I think they caught lightning in a bottle in the beginning.
That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, that's the metaphor I was looking for. I feel like Crackdown 1 was lightning in a bottle. It came out at the right time. A lot of people were buying that game because of the Halo 3 beta or demo or whatever, but they stayed for the Crackdown because it was fun. But now I have they can start talking about a Crackdown 4 and I'm totally, who cares? This is obviously you can't make it fun again. And obviously your studios, you have two studios that are the ones that know the chops of the system, and they can actually make something amazing. And everybody else is just like a third party that is having trouble or don't know how to program on the system, or that simply they don't bring their A game. This is your first party. Like I look at
just phoning it in.
You look at Sony.
Sony.
Look at those first party. It's very rare. Not to say that it doesn't happen, but it's very rare to have a first party Sony title that is nothing short of amazing. And I'm not trying to be a Sony fanboy, because you guys believe me, I am the farthest of Sony fanboys. I love the console. Don't get me wrong. I love the PlayStation 4. I don't like the fanboy of any consoles. Fanboy is something stupid.
Will agree 100% with you, sir. That yes,
yeah,
they tend to be really, really well made.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the truth.
It is. You can see the craftsmanship on those games, and they know the system inside out and what they can do with it. Whereas Microsoft has just demonstrated so far with the releases. I mean, we got fucking Rare doing that Pirates game,
Sea of Thieves,
and that should have been amazing, and it was okay. Crackdown should have been amazing, and it is mediocre. And what's the other one? I feel like there was another.
State of Decay 2.
You got State of Decay 2, and that was okay.
Yeah, okay.
And don't get me started on Fable. Like, what the hell happened to Fable?
Well, they got canned.
Yeah. So now. Yes, it's good that they went into this shopping spree and acquired this studios, because apparently they had nothing here. Anyway, that's a huge tangent, and I digress. Reeling it back to what I've been playing. I've also played Moonlighter.
Oh yes,
I had an opportunity to try that out.
Game, isn't it?
I had an opportunity of trying that out. That game is great. That game is not easy. Let me tell you.
No,
it is not. It is not an easy game, but it is very rewarding. It does have an easy mode. It does have several. Yeah, didn't you notice?
No.
Like there was a. I was surprised because he had like a. Oh, I just want to know about the story.
You're playing on PC, right?
I'm playing on PC. Yeah.
Okay.
And but I don't feel like that's something that should
no,
be
just say I don't
you
recall
probably didn't
seeing.
notice.
I didn't. Yeah, maybe.
You probably
I didn't
notice
notice a selection for it. Yeah.
So yeah. So I played because this is what got me like. Ugh. It has easy or whatever it is the call. I think it's easy, but who knows? They have normal, and then they have hard with parentheses of this is the way it's meant to be played. Not literally, like it doesn't say it like that, but that's what it like. It recommend, like it says recommended.
Yeah.
Okay. You remember that?
No. I'm just saying. I figured that's what it said. Yeah.
So you know what? You would have noticed that though.
If
you don't recall, then you probably didn't have it on console then, or maybe it's a patch later on. Who knows?
Maybe.
But yes,
I didn't remember selecting, and I always select normal anyway. So whatever regardless of what they recommend, I select normal.
Whenever they put the recommended or this is the way it's meant to be played, dude. That was Wolfenstein thing. Whenever they put that,
I recommend you keep your shit to yourself. That's what I recommend.
Whenever they put that, I feel like okay, so this is the way the developers really programmed this. With the hit points of each characters and with the thing, this is the way it's meant to be played. And if I play on anything different than that is not harder, then it's just baby, and that's I know that's unfair. And
course, yeah.
This is
You're
just
overthinking it, and it is
exactly. It gets to I overthinking, and I feel bad because
so you're playing right now on the recommended whatever
hard,
mode that is.
Yeah, on the recommended hard, and it is difficult. It is hard, and it gets a little frustrating.
This is not. I ran into a couple times where I am just trying to squeeze just one little extra piece of something out, from my run into the dungeons, and then you just get caught.
Oh,
and
you get caught,
get hit, and you lose everything. Well, except for the top row.
Right.
You keep the top row, which I guess is on your person, but your bag gets
gone.
So
So
that's happened like probably 2-3 times in a row, and I'm like, mother.
No, at that point you have to stop.
And I'm like, all right, man, but no, that's about the most frustration I've had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the game is charming and it has great music.
I just can't wait to get to the other dungeons. That's what I'm just waiting to get to to unlock the but yeah.
Right. We and you spoke about that when you were playing. So I'm not gonna repeat the whole thing with the gameplay, but I did find that the element of getting items from the dungeons and then bringing it to your store to put them to sale, and then finding out, okay, what is the value of that? Why is he so happy when he's purchasing this,
dude? I guess I'm a little bit further in, but I had got this broadsword, right? And I'm like, I already upgraded the sword. I happen to find one, so I'm like, that's fine. And then as you're on this as you're running the store, you see people come in. Some of them have this little like symbol that pops up to say, oh, this is a hero, and a hero is going to want hero items.
Yes.
So as soon as I saw him come in, I'm like, oh, and I went to my little chest and got the sword out and put it out. Yeah. And I was like, okay, what do I practice at? I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to put 1,000 coins and I'll work my way down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I undersold that shit. Like, I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, damn it.
Oh my God. It is the worst feeling because you can't take it back.
No, it's already gone.
You know,
it's already gone.
and I so far I haven't gotten to the part where I'm selling like weapons and stuff like that. I'm still selling tchotchkes because I'm selling
little stuff, yeah.
But the I forgot where I was going with it. There was the part that I found a little frustrating. Besides selling underselling the items we'll get, is trying to better my gear. Because bettering you, like, trying to improve the gear that I have, I feel like, okay, I need to put these things for sale, but I can't put them all because I need 4 of these sticks or whatever keep so I can save them so that I can craft, or I can have the smithy craft me a sword. But it's sometimes, or so far, I find it very difficult to find all the ingredients that I have. Or when I have them, he wants like 4,000 gold coins. And I'm like, by the time I have 4,000 gold coins, I won't need that sword anymore. Probably.
Oh, maybe. I mean, you're playing another mode, but I currently right now I'm around 20,000 coins. So
really,
yeah. You get coins a lot, which you have to. So this is just me. This is what I did. I did several days where I was just going in, collecting as much as possible till my bag is full, coming back, selling as much as possible, making sure I'm hitting that number, and then whatever it is, and whenever it's on high demand, I always add more money. Okay, it's 100 coins regularly. It's on high demand now. I'm going to sell it for 120. Right. I'm going to sell it for 130. Right. And then what I do when it comes in high demand, I rack them up. Like if I have 10 of them, all 10 of them go on sale in one shot. Yeah. So all of them are high price.
So they pick everything. They pick up
the whole thing. So it just racks money. And then of course I go right back into the dungeon and come back out and do the same thing and that's it. You do that maybe 3 or 4 times and you got a good stack of money after that.
See, I really wish sometimes. I love our group. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes I feel like the focus is too much on that big AAA title that is coming next, and people are missing out on those
gems.
Those gems, exactly. Those experiences that are smaller, they cost cheaper, and it'll probably have you playing for longer because you're having fun. Yes, they don't have the crazy graphics or anything like that, but it's pure gameplay. It's pure fun.
It's what gaming was.
Yeah.
And still technically is. You know what I'm saying? You remove all the flashiness and all the whatever, and you have pure gameplay. And that's what this is.
Yeah. And so people prefer to spend like hours and hours grinding for the same thing on a game that looks gorgeous, but you're doing the same banalities, the same thing, killing the same enemies over and over and over, rather than experiment. Like that's me. Now I don't have a lot of time to play at as much, and if a game frustrates me too much, I don't have a problem with dropping it. Unfortunately, that happened to Resident Evil 2, a game that I was really enjoying, but I had to because I'm not having fun. Therefore, it's out. when I like to constantly be experimenting with shit, bring it and trying something. I will try something small. Like the moment you started talking about this, I was like, yes, I remember a game that was like that, and that I was playing that I was really enjoying. I could use an updated version of that, and dude, I did, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Same thing with that other game that I don't remember, unfortunately, why I dropped it, but I want to continue playing it. The one that I kept messing the name the name up that is in the future. I need to remember this game.
I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Crosscode.
Crosscode. Yeah. That game is fantastic, and if that game ever releases on consoles, it's gonna be one of those that I would say, pick it up because it is really cool. Stuff like that. Let me see what else. Aside from those, I'll probably play something else here and there, but it don't really matter because Apex, bro. I saw yesterday. I saw The Incredibles 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was on Netflix.
It is on. Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta tell you that it's been on Netflix for a little bit.
For a little bit, yeah. Because I saw you watch it the other day. I was like, really? You was watching The Incredibles? Okay, cool. All right. And
what'd you think?
It's not better than the first one. It's definitely not better. Yeah. The first Incredibles is one of my favorite Pixar movies, actually.
It's one of my favorite Disney movies.
Really?
Yeah.
It was great. It was the action, everything was great on it. This, I feel like it's that sequel feel that, you want to make a sequel, but you don't have the material for it almost, or you're scrounging to get material on it.
And I think they focus a little bit too much on Jack. Or
the baby,
and I was just like, he was funny as a side,
this is the new thing,
but no, now he's like all of it. At some point, I'm like, I'm just done with this baby.
Yeah, it was my wife can say, oh, he's so cute, and I'm like, yeah, but like I didn't know this. He was gonna be such a focus on the on this movie to the point where it's like, oh, okay,
There were some humorous moments though.
There was some, definitely.
The Common Core math thing.
Oh yeah. Why did he change math?
Oh my god, dude, I was into
that was hilarious. That was hilarious because it's very.
It is extremely
what's that word?
I don't know. Of today's
the present. Which actually goes in contrast with. I did not realize, and I didn't even remember noticing, or I did not notice this on the first one. Mm-hmm. That the setting of the time frame of this
was like the 50s.
It's supposed to be like in the 50s. Yeah, I didn't remember that. To me, it was like always. Oh, The Incredible lives on the air. On this era. But then, for some reason, I started noticing on The Incredibles 2, the old cars.
Yeah.
Why all the cars look like the 60s? Is this supposed to be the 60s? And then I started paying attention to everything in the TV, and it's like, oh, I get it now. This is like the era of superheroes. Happening in happening in the 50s or the 60s and stuff like that. So I can't believe that I did not notice that on the first one, bro. And I will need to watch it again.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah,
I'll be like, wow. Yeah. So I mean, it was entertaining for sure. Mm-hmm. I feel like it suffered from the same thing. Sequelitis.
Yeah.
Monsters Inc. is another example of a movie. Monsters Inc. is actually my personal favorite Pixar movie.
The first one.
Yeah, I love that movie. Then I got excited when I heard, they're doing Monster U. And dude, I saw Monster U at the movie theater, and it was not worth it at all. It was like, I was completely disappointed. It didn't have that magic. It didn't have that thing that made it feel like special. Those moments that
lightning
were
in
like,
the bottle.
Yeah.
You catch lightning in the bottle with a theme and all this, and suddenly the machine turns on and says, we got to replicate this. And the replication never lives up to the original.
It does not. So that's what The Incredibles 2 feel. Not to say you shouldn't watch it, especially now that it's on Netflix. You definitely ought to give it a chance. If you like the first one, just set your expectations. It's not going to be as good as the first one. So So yeah, man, that's probably all I've been doing.
Oh, okay. Well, I have
On the other hand,
completed Resident Evil 2.
oh,
And
it's done. You're done.
No, I'm not, because I'm like right back in. I'm just this game, dude. I don't know what it is about Resident Evil.
You're a
but
masochist. Forget it.
Now forget it. The character that you have an issue with, it's not even a problem. Liquors are not even a problem.
Yeah.
I literally just walk, and then it's never an issue. You know, it's just like, hey, obviously if you,
I mean, no, you're gonna be like, hey, liquor.
yeah. Well, that not only that, but if you're shooting or something, it's gonna come running your way.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, okay, I need to do this quick. I need to get S rank. I need to, you know, and I don't even give a shit about S rank half the time. But I'm like, nah, I need to get S rank.
What rank did you got in this one this time?
The B. I got a B rank.
That's not bad.
It's not bad for first run through. Sure, yeah, not bad. The first one,
You probably knew. I mean, not that it's the same or anything like that, obviously, because they changed a lot of things. But you kind of knew what
the formula. I know the formula.
Yeah,
And the formula with Resident Evil, especially in this one, is if you play the old ones, you just kind of know what to expect.
Yeah. What's the next thing that? What you should be looking for?
It's so freaking good. Dude, the sound is great. Everything about it. And I know you don't like a specific character. I honestly think I actually love that freaking character.
Nope.
It's just he adds a certain level of tension, even though I know it's there. You know, like there's a point where I'm like,
it's great. I can't shoot anything because hear me. I can't run. I mean, what else will they take away from me?
It's what do you mean you can't run? You can run.
Yeah, but
he'll
know.
Yeah. So, but
you can't shoot because he'll know. It's like, okay, so I can't play the game now. I just have to look at the map and hope that where I'm thinking I need to go, I go, because I'm going to spend 20 minutes walking very slowly towards it.
No. At some point, I was like, you know what? I need to bolt. I just got to bolt out of here. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm doing. And it's just there's this level of tension and whatever, but once I make it, I'm just like, man, you know, I'm like, wiping off my brow, like, all right. So what am I doing now? Okay, I go over here. Okay, I'm gonna do this. All right, let's go. You know, it's like and break.
I fucking need to go back. It's just there's too many games now, but I need to go back. So I know I need to go back.
Here's the suggestion I was like, I did Leon A on normal, right?
Yeah.
When I did Claire B, I was like, you know what? Well, if you know the original, it's very similar to that. There are some new things that you run into, but for the most part, it's still kind of the same. So I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to kind of run through a lot of the same things, so I'm just going to do whatever the under thing is. And I think it's called like aim assist or something like that. Whatever the mode is under that. So I was like, I'm gonna just do that, dude. Even that one is where I think you should. And I know you don't like playing this way. I get it. But you should still try it anyway. For someone who prefers to be a little bit more badass.
I don't understand. What do you mean? Like
so
you mean activating? I got no problem activating aim assist if it's gonna.
No. It's called aim assist mode where the zombies are a little weaker. The bullets either the bullets are stronger, not both, but the point is you instead of unloading an entire mag into one thing, it'll probably take half a mag or maybe a few, but you know what I mean. So that and the aim literally it doesn't aim directly, but it just kind of puts you in that so it's not that hard to
line up.
And
the
then
shots.
and then what else is it? It's just a little easy. It's not called easy mode, but it's called something else. And it's not baby mode.
You read my mind. I was gonna make the joke. I said, nah.
Yeah. It's not called baby mode. It's called. I want to call it assisted mode or something like that, or some weird shit like that. But I played Claire's story that way, and I had even the good thing is I was like, you know what? I just want to see the second half. You know what I mean? So I did Leon regularly. And frankly, I mean, I didn't even have that much of a problem with Leon. With Claire, I did that one on assist. I was like, I'm just going to get through it. And I got through a little faster, but I also kind of knew where to go now for the most part. So, So
and you're also feeling like a badass because
now you feel a little bit more badass. Even though when it comes to obviously certain things, you still have to run. You know, it's just as badass as you feel, he is still more badass. Yeah. so and well, I'm not gonna say, I don't want to spoil it because we got a message before that we were spoiling a little bit more, and I probably already talked too much about this, but anyway, but my point is
there's a Claire B
there. I know, right? The run felt like it was still tough because it's still there are still things that you need to do. So it's not like it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's just it makes certain things easier. And the game already does a lot more that the original didn't do. Like I said, with the map and as you walk by things.
Yeah, I think with the map was excellent. I thought,
oh my God,
that was amazing.
Good,
of letting you know,
so
hey,
good.
You haven't finished looking for everything that could be
other
in this,
stuff
man.
in here.
And now you don't have to worry about this room anymore.
Correct. And then you could just run through it because you just know. I really should move on to another game, but I just started a Claire A now. In normal. Because I'm like, I already kind of know what the story.
Now, Claire A, is that a substantially different type of game? Or
basically,
are you
the same way you played Leon is but you're playing it as Claire.
Okay, so it's the same run of Leon, but
for the most part,
with a skin.
There's a Claire storyline that you will always have. No matter which one you run. Okay. And there's a Leon storyline you always have. But the way you get into the way you access these things are done in a different route. For instance, and slight spoilers here for anybody to listen, okay? But with Leon, everybody kind of started with Leon, and you know that you start right at the beginning. You run right towards the police station, and you make it in through the front gates, and then you meet Marvin and all this stuff.
Right.
Claire, or should I say the B run, does not go that route. That person, whoever it is going to go a different route. They'll still get to the PlayStation, but they're coming from a different route. And then you're accessing the police station. What happened?
You just called it the PlayStation.
No, I said police. Oh, well, I mean a police station. Sorry,
you called it PlayStation. Sorry.
You access the police station from a different route, and that route is how you will start. Now, again, there's storyline specifics for each character, which will not change.
Okay,
maybe how you access them will change, but they are still part of that person's storyline.
Okay, so that's it is not super different, but it is different enough to where this feels like okay, but this could have been the alternate. Correct. Of what happened.
Although the canonical version is Claire A, Leon B. So technically I am now playing what is considered the canonical version.
Okay. So even though in the PlayStation 2...
Same thing. It was Claire A, Leon B.
The second run was considered the canonical.
Or it's not the second run. It's just you're starting with Claire is the canonical version of it.
Well, also on PlayStation 2, did you start it with Claire? That was... Because I noticed on this one, you start with Leon. You start with Leon, with the Leon story first.
You don't. You can start with Claire.
No, I know you can, but the order where it's presented to you makes you think.
Leon Claire.
Okay, you don't pick from the bottom up.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
I mean, it is Japanese. Yeah. For some reason, Circle is canceled. No, I'm just kidding.
So, on the PlayStation, did it present you with Claire as the top? As the default selection.
No, it's not.
And then
it's still not that way.
Okay.
But the only reason I know that that's because the original makers
that's what
said
they say. Yeah.
It's Claire A, Leon B is the canonical.
That's good because it makes you feel like okay now that you know everything, you practice. Now here's the real story.
Correct. Yeah. And then I know I can because I already kind of know where things are and I could just book it. You know what I mean?
All right.
People are finishing literally just one playthrough in like an hour and 50 minutes, and like they're that quick. They're making it to the end. I'm like, holy shit!
S. So I heard, and honestly, I don't know if talking about credit music is considered spoilers, but just in general, you don't have to be specific. But I heard that the credit music it's a little crazy and very cool.
I thought it was okay.
Okay, you didn't think anything special. You didn't hear anything there. Okay, all right.
I didn't think it was like
oh, I can't believe this. Oh, this is funny, or oh, this is cool, or whatever. Okay, never mind.
I haven't tried Fourth Survivor, which is a mode that unlocks once you beat one run with both. Fourth Survivor is you play. I think his name is Hunk, but he's basically an umbrella agent, and he wakes up after being knocked out from whatever. I don't want to spoil what happened, but being knocked out. And all he's trying to do is at this point, he's got to get out of the facility because it's about to blow up. You know, and so he's just got to run. You know, and so
that's cool. So there's another hidden form of.
There's a mode.
Storyful or just like
no, it's just a survival mode. You just got to get out. You can collect shit on the way, but it's timed. You just got to make it out.
All right.
And obviously you can run around stuff. I've learned now how to just like run. I'm shooting knees and they're just falling. You know, and they're not dead, but because they're on the floor, I can just run past them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some of them can get up depending on the severity of the shot. You know what I mean?
Because that's another thing that I hated. It's like. Some zombies I can just unload on them and they just keep coming and I have already used like 2 rounds. But some others you use 1 bullet and it crits and
that's weird.
You can't tell.
You can't tell how to do it.
No.
But no, seriously, I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I can't believe. Like I have this backlog, dude. I have a series. I literally have 2 games.
I can't worry anymore about backlogs.
On my freaking coffee table, still shrink wrap. I have Shadow of the Colossus, the remake, and I have Detroit Become Human also.
When
shrink
that?
Probably about a few weeks ago.
Oh,
maybe about a month ago.
Yeah. That as well. Okay.
And they're still sitting there, and I'm like, I really should move on to other games.
But
I'm just enjoying the hell out of it.
If you're enjoying that,
I'm enjoying so much this game, even though I know exactly what it is. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what.
It's a fantastic game.
It is a very cool game.
And it's great to look at. It's great to have that thing. Bro, dude, I get you. Like when I was playing that, I told you this is like, okay, the year started, but this is the game of the year already. And I will still argue that it is.
Yeah,
I will still put it there. Even if it's not my favorite, even if it does, like, even if it disappointed me because of the part that I didn't like, that just because it's not a part where it's just happened and then that's it and you could get passed over, is that it gets to be the way you play the game from now on, and you either you like it or you don't. And even if I were to say, okay, you know what, this is my most disappointing game of the year because that happened, I will still put it on one of the top for game of the year because it is that polished. It is so good.
Start over. Start it on that mode. I'm just like, dude, I think it's I don't want to say that. I really think it'll be okay. You will, because I want you to like. I
haven't wasted a lot of. I try not to, you know. So I don't even have to start it over. I can just switch the mode and.
Right? Oh, you can do it halfway.
Oh, I don't know. I'm asking you.
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I did it. Like I said, I purposely said, because when I started the second run, it was like, do you want to do, whatever? And I was like, I'm not doing fucking hardcore. And I was like, because I just want to get through it. But now I'm like, man, I just want to go back and play again. Now on normal, just on normal.
Yeah.
And maybe hardcore. Maybe I'll try hardcore. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
what is hardcore? I mean, how much hardcore could it get?
In hardcore, you are shooting legs. Because you're just trying to get them out of your way. There's no point even attacking anybody, and you're going to walk when you have to walk. Yeah. It's like, because obviously certain beasts are going to really take a lot of ammo in order. I mean, they already take a lot of ammo as it is in normal mode. They're going to take even more, and you're going to blow through stuff. You don't want to do that.
Gotcha.
So, but the whole point there is doing hardcore is now you know the route. So now you just have to get the stuff that you need to get, bring it to where you need to bring it, and avoid getting hurt, basically. Yeah. And that's right now. I know it's very early. That's really that's probably my game of the year at the moment. It's easily, I'm loving the hell out of it. I saw a few movies, so I'm just going to kind of briskly go through them. First, I'm going to get the first one out of the way. I saw Polar on Netflix.
Yes.
And so I saw some interesting comments when I posted the fact that I'm watching it. I gotta say I'm sorry for everybody who enjoyed it. I'm glad you did, and it is what it is. But I overall thought the movie was not very good. It had good moments. It had I'm not gonna go into details, but it had good moments. Polar, by the way, is a movie. Again, it's coming on Netflix. As stars Mads Mikkelsen, Vanessa Hudgens, and a bunch of other people that I don't know.
God,
because it's at that point. I'm sorry, and it also for some strange reason has freaking Richard Dreyfuss, because why not? Yeah, I'm like, this is so weird. But
God, this is gonna turn into another Glass discussion.
It's honestly, dude, it's one of those things because the film kind of knows what it's trying to do. It's trying to mix a little bit of Kill Bill, a little bit of John Wick, a little bit of a couple of these weird action movies that have these stylish words that across when you're now in Moscow and it goes Moscow, and it was like, okay, it's like, okay, I see, all right, I get it, we're in Moscow, you know what I mean? At some point it's just like it's a little style over substance. And so that's kind of where it kind of lost me. Like I said, there's some good action set pieces. One particular action set piece in a hallway, which is like really, really cool. And I was like, this reminded me a little bit of Old Boy. I don't know if anybody's seen Old Boy, but anyway, it's a really cool action sequence in the hallway. And but the villains are just laughable. Just like, I can't. Yeah, not even, dude. No. Do you this is for anybody who's heard this, okay? Yeah. Or anybody listening to this who has played Final Fantasy VII, okay? The main villain, okay, reminds me of. Do you remember the guy who was running the not the brothel, but he was running something towards the end of the wall market in Midgar? He was the guy who you dressed up as a girl, and he picks one of the girls on the what do you call? I think his name is not a brothel, but I know what it means. It's like the place that's themed like
he
has to sneak
honeycomb or something like that,
and he has to sneak into it. So your main,
it's like a bathhouse or something. I don't know. I don't remember.
He has to sneak into it. He has to get into whatever, and then he ends up being your Cloud and Aerith and Tifa. Yeah, and he obviously you want him to pick you, so you can whatever. Anyway, the point is that
there's a character that's kind of sleazy.
He's very sleazy. Yeah, very. This looks like the live action version of that. The moment I saw him, he has the real.
I thought you were talking about Surfer at first. I was like, the villain of Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, whoa.
No. This guy he pops up there, and I think we see him again over when we first meet Sid Highwind. I think his name is Palmer. People know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I'm sure
he is a ridiculous character.
Yeah.
And picture for a moment if this ridiculous character
for some reason I want to break him up on just to see.
Look up Palmer
for Fantasy
7. Palmer. There he goes. Yeah.
Wiki Palmer.
This is So this is great for a podcast. But
there you go. He's like a really old dude.
Well, he's a really fat dude. You know what I'm saying? So this is the main guy who heads up. So it's very the movie is very John Wickish, where the main character has to he's retiring and all this stuff from being an assassin, and he's part of this organization. What they basically don't want to do is pay him his freaking not severance. What do you call that? Retirement. They don't want to pay for his retirement. So that's the reason. Exactly. So they're like, really? This is what's going on?
So I turned into Looper suddenly.
Oh my God, dude. So anyway, I did not like it, to say the least. I recognize it had good moments, but those good moments do not amount to a good movie.
You know what? The best thing I like about the movie?
Polar?
Yeah.
Okay.
That it brought us back to memory the character of Palmer from Final Fantasy VII. And there he is.
And there he is. Yep. That's the villain in Polar right there, guys. Just so you can. That's who came to mind.
Wow.
Another movie.
What a sleaze bag.
He was a sleaze bag. Another movie I saw, which I saw actually last night, is called The Infiltrator, which stars Bryan Cranston. You know him from Breaking Bad.
Oh, yes.
Also known as Walter White. Yes. John Leguizamo and a few other people in there as well. This is actually based on a true story. The Infiltrator is this guy. He plays a customs guy who basically goes undercover to bring to justice the guys who are helping Pablo Escobar get his money and all this into America and all that. So it is really interesting. I think the best part of it is Bryan Cranston. If you like Bryan Cranston at all,
and who doesn't?
Correct. Yes. I think it's a great movie. I don't think again. One of the biggest things I've noticed is with TV and movies is sticking the landing. The landing seems to be a very difficult thing a lot of times. Yeah. And so sometimes I forgive the movie because I'm like, okay, it is what it is.
At least
right?
it was entertaining. Until it got
Exactly.
here.
And this one for the most part wasn't it. It was very like suspenseful and all this stuff because obviously he gets put into many situations. You're like, holy crap! If he doesn't get out of this, he's dead. You know what I mean? So that said, the end was not the suspenseful payoff that you know, you're kind of playing a suspenseful movie, and the end is just like. It just happens. It's just okay. So that happened. You know what I mean? And I guess everybody's good. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I don't mean it that way, obviously, but you know what I mean. So, but anyway,
everybody's a good guy.
Everybody's okay. Yeah, everything worked out in the end.
Everything's all right.
So that movie, So it's actually on Prime right now, so you can actually watch it via Amazon Prime for free if you are a Prime member.
Cool.
Last one I saw is the one that I really really liked, and that was called First Man. And what First Man is about, it stars what's his name, Ryan Gosling, Claire Foy, a couple other people that you'll probably know by face other than my name, but he plays Neil Armstrong, and it's the story of everything that leads to the moon landing, the original moon landing, right? And
the alleged moon landing.
If you don't believe it, then it's the alleged the filming of the moon landing.
Exactly.
You know?
Let's see how accurate this movie is.
Yes. This movie, the reason I liked it is also the reason why it freaked me out a little bit, and that is space travel to me is this foreign thing, dude, that I'm just like, of all the things in the world that I can be afraid of, I am afraid of space.
Oh, space?
Oh my God, I'm afraid of space, dude.
So
the moment we have to say we have to leave the Earth because the Earth is dying and we have to go to another planet.
I mean,
we're gonna get on some spaceships and we're gonna go. I'm like, nope. I guess I'm dying on Earth, guys.
Really?
Yes.
So you're afraid of
space? Just the thought of space. The fact that there's no air. The fact that no one can hear you scream. The fact that you can literally die in God knows how many different ways, you know what I mean, that you never thought of. You know what I mean?
Radiation.
It's just so much stuff.
I guess when you put it that way, it's kind of scary.
So this movie,
because even in the ocean, you know what?
The ocean probably is probably a close second. But space,
I was gonna say,
space is because it's almost the same thing. You can't breathe, you can't do any of that stuff. But space is just it's just weird, man. So,
but it's the final frontier.
I know. I don't need the final frontier. I didn't even need one of the first frontier. So,
where's your sense of adventure, man?
That's the crazy thing about it. It's like the movie calls into question: was this worth it? Because this is a space race, guys. Right. Remember, we were against Russia. We were trying to do everything, whatever, and we were losing for the most part. Yeah. We were the first ones to land on the moon. The craziest thing about it is these guys are not. There's no radar, right? There's no. They don't. They have maybe a few satellites up there, but for the most part, they don't get shit. Right. They're flying blind in space. Yeah. Okay, they're using math. I'm not even joking.
Math is perfect.
They're out there. They're drawing. Okay, so if we go this way, we'll get point whatever, and we should be fine. We should find the thing. I'm like, no.
Dude, that sounds really cool.
Point this shit back to Earth. We're going home. You know what I'm like?
Can you just point it towards the big moon that looks like a planet or like planet Earth because it is planet Earth?
That's the craziest thing. Apparently, it's easy to spot when you're on Earth. Not so easy when you're in space. It's it's out there somewhere. Let's just point it in that direction. We're going.
That'll be fucking scary.
So, dude, and this movie is
okay. So I'm freaking out for Iron Man right now because Iron Man is lost in space.
He is lost in space.
Yes.
The difference is here he has a whole ship that he can just kind of walk around and just dig about. Right?
Oxygen is limited though.
It is limited.
And it's running out.
Here, the ship that you don't walk around. No. You're strapped to a chair. Yeah, that's it. And the way it's filmed, the claustrophobia really. If you're claustrophobic, this movie's gonna fuck you up. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, I liked it a lot. It did get a little bit of it had a little controversy because they don't show Neil Armstrong put the flag down and the American flag there. And I'm like, guys, if you got to this point in the movie, you completely missed the fucking point in the movie. Okay? Yeah. It was all about his struggle and getting there.
Yeah, it's not about. It's not
about America, guys. It's not
exactly.
About America. It's about the journey of one man getting there,
exactly,
and all the stuff that he had to go through to get there.
Yeah,
and it is, and I'm a little bummed that I didn't see it in the theater. Apparently, when you get to the final portion, and it's just a spoiler, guys, for a movie that is about real life. But when he does land on the moon, it's all done in this awesome 4K. If you went to see it in like IMAX, dude, the thing just opens up when he gets.
I should be watching this. I don't care. I need to watch this movie because I like I like those type of movies that are based on reality and not just based on reality, but the amazingness of
the feats. The feats
that get. Yes, exactly.
It's just so.
Yeah.
And this guy did really well. All the actors, everybody in this movie were spectacular. Cool. And so I really enjoyed it, and I definitely recommend it.
It's like The Martian, based on the true story.
No.
Wait, what?
We have not been to Mars yet, sir.
What?
I know that mission.
But we haven't been to the moon either, and we faked that. So why are we not faking the fact that we were on Mars?
John Carter was not a real movie, sir. John Carter of Mars was not. Yeah, I'm sorry to burst that bubble there.
Bro, I own that movie. I haven't watched
John Carter?
No, I own The Martian.
The Martian. Oh yeah, I want to see it too. But
I own it. I have it digital and I haven't seen it.
Fuck it, let's put it on. Let's watch right now.
All right. So we'll be right back.
We'll be right back in about I think it's about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And we're right back. And we're back, bro.
Dude,
that was crazy.
Let me tell you,
that was crazy.
Red planet indeed. Is all I gotta say.
Dude, the Martians. When the Martians appear, I was blown out of my head.
I know, and they're not green.
No,
I always thought they were green.
No, and they have this little like broom on their heads also.
Yes, and they have this weird voice when they go, "You have, I need my uranium P-52 explosive space modulator."
And then Jordan appeared.
Yes.
And it was all Space
Jam. And then
Jam.
Daffy Duck. What the hell happened there?
This movie is...
Duck Dodgers.
Duck Dodgers. Duck Dodgers. Oh, my God.
Oh, good stuff.
Real quick before we cut to our real break.
Yes.
You watch another thing I meant to ask you about. You watch the Fire Festival.
Yes, the Hulu one.
The Hulu version. Yeah. And because I watched the Netflix one. You watched the Hulu one.
Yes.
So I already spoke about my expressions on the Netflix one. What do you think about this one?
Honestly, I don't know if I liked it. I think it was more. This one felt more like, oh, hey, we've got the guy. We've got Billy McFarland. We interview and all this stuff, and it's going to be, and that seemed to be the selling point on it, right? I think he speaks in the movie a total of like 10 minutes, right? And it's like scattered throughout, right? And then he gets asked questions, and spoilers here for the movie, guys. He gets asked questions, as to what happened, and he half answers them. He doesn't even it's like.
So it's 10 minutes of him saying nothing.
Yeah. So I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? Plus, a lot of the shots and stuff that they showed is shit that was in the news. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I was like,
or YouTube, for example.
Yeah. And I was just like, this. I mean, yes, it kind of gives you a little bit of a timeline. I will say that you get a little bit of timeline. It kind of goes into however, and it was amazing how everybody was going, this is not going to work. It's 2 months out, and there is no way
there
we're
is
this
nothing.
Shit done. Yeah.
It was a train wreck from the beginning to end.
And they knew it from the beginning, and I guess he was paying them with something. You know what I mean? So they just kept making it happen.
Wow.
But the documentary itself was really just okay. I wasn't in any, and I watch a lot of documentaries, so that's why I was just like, this is not very interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as, because even even in my case, like I don't know how much. Like, I really like the Netflix documentary, not necessarily because I was pitting it against the Hulu one, but because I found like the events, like I knew about the events because I was reading about them as they were happening, last year. But like
2016.
2016 was it? Yeah. So but as I was seeing the recounting from the people that were there and the inside scoop of what was happening, and of course the Netflix didn't have the this guy, but evidently he didn't need it. I thought it was.
That's why I was holding my overall opinion. So I wanted to see the Netflix one.
Okay.
My wife doesn't want to see. She was like, I already saw it. I already know.
Yeah, you already know what happened. Yeah,
so I'm kind of feeling. I want to see that. I'm a little bummed I didn't start with the Netflix one because I went with the Hulu one I don't know why. Maybe because they had McFarlane. You know, it's like, well, let me see what the
I
fuck
think
he
that
has to
was
say.
I
think that's the selling point, and I think
Yeah.
that's essentially how they're getting people. And it's kind of, I'm like, this, you know.
I mean, once you know, I guess the element of quote unquote surprise, if you can call it that, goes away. I already know how messed up it was. It was fantastic to see it, on the documentary and on Netflix, and I want to see the Hulu one. But I am I already knew that even if it's great, it's still gonna be a lot of information that I already know, because not only I watched the Netflix one, but I also, right after we were done, me and my wife, we also went on a scavenge hunt in YouTube to see the real people that participated there, like what they went through, and it was still fascinating, regardless.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then I mean, they had a lot of stuff like that, and there were some moments where I was just like, get the hell out of here. They did go a little bit more. I mean, I'm not sure if they did there, but a lot of his early stuff and how he became who he was.
Yeah, a little bit of his previous endeavors.
Yeah, well, they did a lot of that. They I mean, early on. Yeah. And when he had that freaking card, and then when he started making like business deals with these people and all this, and you can tell the dude's fucking sleazy. You can just see it. And I'm like, well, no wonder, man. This is just,
Yeah.
He's a
and
fucking
then Ja Rule.
He's upside. And then Ja Rule.
Then you got fucking
Ja Rule. They call him on something so funny. It's a show where people get together to drink. And literally, they're drinking there on a stage. It was almost looks like a podcast, but it's video recorded, and they have like people behind them, and they're just out there drinking.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Nah, man, I didn't know anything about that, right?" And like by the end of the show, he's all last like, "So yeah, that was all me, man." I was like, "What the hell?" I was
and
like,
he bailed, like he's super bailed.
Oh yeah. He's like,
he's okay. This guy's doing jail. Ja Rule is untouched. Like my understanding, Ja Rule is untouched when he had just as much to do with the whole scam. That I don't know, man.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I've been doing.
What I was gonna mention.
What's that?
When we were talking about Joe, you mentioned that movie with Joe Leguizamo in it. It kind of reminded me that I have never seen Mario Brothers, the movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie.
So,
you seen it?
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen it more than once too.
Oh no!
So
I kind of wanted us to do a viewing. Yes.
We can still do one. I mean, it's been years. It's probably been decades at this point.
Hey, we know that this is super bad. And
it
we
is.
Don't mean.
And you know what? I can almost guarantee we'll walk away with like, it wasn't as bad as we thought. You know what I mean?
I don't know. From what I heard, I'm not sure if I'm going to get there.
Yeah. Well, that's true. I remember seeing that. I didn't see it in the theater or anything like that, but I did. Wait, did I see it in the theater? I might have actually saw it in the fucking theater.
Wow.
Now I think about it, I'm like, damn, I think I did. It doesn't matter. It was a long time ago. And for whatever reason, I remember going, this is okay. This is okay.
Are you sure this was not the Phantom Menace syndrome?
This was just me being young and stupid. This is what that is. Because in retrospect, and I've seen it after that. I'm going, Jesus Christ, what a train wreck. It was like, this is really bad.
I heard it was quite a train wreck.
Oh, yeah, I'm not exaggerating. Yeah, it's a train wreck. Yeah,
in the sense that not just the movie itself, but the production and everything.
Oh yes, they went through a lot of.
You know who this YouTube channel? I'm sure you've heard of it, but I have been like super mega enjoying it so much lately, which is the one where I remember. Oh yeah, the Super Mario Brothers, because they spoke about that. They also spoke about Punch Out, and they have like different episode.
That's the one you sent me the history of Punch Out.
The gaming historian.
Yes,
dude. That
is very cool. I literally saw the Punch Out one last night.
Oh yeah,
I literally just watched it.
What you thought?
I thought it was great.
It was great.
I was like, this is so freaking detailed. It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy. This is the guy on YouTube. The channel is the gaming historian.
Yeah.
And this guy takes time to really research the history
Yeah.
to the core, like information
Just
that you have
little
never
details.
heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you wanted to know where the idea for the virtual boy, came in and who's responsible, and why did the Sega Dreamcast, fail? The history of bro, you name it. It could be the most obscure thing. He has information to the point where I wake up and I'm excited about just putting him on the background and listening. And sometimes I almost get late to work because I should be getting dressed fast, but I will stop and I will just keep watching.
Dude, I watched the Punch Out one, and I was just in there. I just started going, do I have Punch Out somewhere? I think I have. Punch Out.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to.
I'm pretty sure I have it downloaded somewhere. I need to put it in. I need to plug this in and play it because I was like, man, this is so cool.
I love that they mentioned where the theme of Super Punch Out.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. It where it comes from. And then it shows the actual legitimate where it comes from, which is supposed to which was a boxing
theme. A boxing theme for
some 60s, 50s or 60s show in the States, and it's really cool. All those touches.
I like when they got to the Mike Tyson's Punch Out portion of it.
Yeah.
And he's showing the commercial, and I'm going, man, I remember seeing that freaking commercial.
Oh, the commercial.
Yes, and you're playing with power, and he's there, and he's got nothing but 20 TV. 20 TVs in front of him. He's just and it's just man, I remember that, dude. And that game was tough too. I remember playing that, and then I think the one that I have downloaded in my Wii is the Super Punch Out for Super Nintendo, which is one of my favorites, dude. Easily one of my favorites.
It is. It is great.
I'm gonna have to plug that shit back in, bro.
I'm gonna have to shit back in. Find some way to legally acquire this and play it. That has nothing to do with.
I can lend you my Wii, sir.
There you go. There you go. Thank you.
You don't have to, stoop to certain levels here.
The gray side of game. Which, by the way, they also talked about, dude, guys. If it
oh yes, they did. They mentioned the ones the obvious ripoffs, and I was like,
yes, the obvious ripoff of Punch Out. You guys want to subscribe to this guy's channel because it is
you sent it to me
phenomenal,
maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
and I was like, and I just hit it and I just saved it to watch later. And then yesterday I was just like, all right, we just finished the movie, and then we just kind of hung out for a little bit, and I said, let me put something on real quick. Because I didn't want to put on something long, so it's only about 45 minutes. The thing,
and that was one of the longest. Usually they're 20 minutes.
That's still 45 minutes to me is not long. I'm like, that's perfect. An hour, perfect for a documentary type thing.
Yeah,
and then at some point, I'm like, man, I really shouldn't put this on. I should probably go to sleep at some point. Dude, I finished the whole thing, and dude, it's just I subscribed immediately. I was like, oh, this dude's got my ass. I don't know what I can give him, but I'm definitely hitting subscribe.
I'm definitely, dude. It was the first time that I thought, okay, so he has a Patreon, huh? Right?
Yeah.
It was the first time I thought, oh, okay, like how much you love, and I do too. I for some reason I haven't gotten the time to keep watching the guys from
No Clip,
exactly. I love those documentaries. They're fantastic. There's something about this one from the Game Historian that is because it is the history of video game. Talk about the crash. You talk about before the crash. Talk about all those things that I lived through when I was a kid, and that it's putting into perspective that I'm like, oh yeah, no wonder. I do remember that the Nintendo, the NES, actually the first one came out with Rob in it. You couldn't buy it separate because it was part of it, and it goes into the reason and details. It's amazing.
Yes,
guys, go to that guy.
The level of information that that channel
it's a university course. It might as well be. It is
absolutely.
It is history. If you love gaming and if you love history and if you love Nintendo and all those companies from the past, I highly encourage you.
100% agree.
Yeah,
100%. For instance, I didn't know. We'll move on to the next part here, but I didn't know that Punch Out originally started as an arcade game. I didn't know it, and they made it because of the two screens.
The reason why they were using two screens.
We need a game that uses two screens
because we have too many
fucking monitors.
Screens.
Yeah, it's like holy crap.
I do remember that actually. That was my first experience with Punch Out. Was
the arcade.
The arcade. Yeah.
It's funny because I saw the arcade and I maybe saw it afterwards, but I didn't know.
Didn't make the connection.
I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, they made the arcade version of the game. You know, like no, motherfucker, that's the actual real.
First one.
That's OG right there.
Butter blow, uppercut.
Oh, so good.
So good.
All right, guys, we're going to start with our Mouthfuls fresh pick.
The fresh pick,
yes, sir. This week's releases, I'm just going to fly through them.
Because there's a lot of them.
There are they?
Well, there's some major ones.
There are some major ones, but
maybe there's not a lot, but
we'll go through
there's a lot of that had my eye. Let's just say, yeah. Even if I'm not planning on buying them day one or playing them on day one or anything.
I'm going to kind of sprint over some of these that are, maybe a little bit more obscure. The Liar Princess and the Blind Prince coming to PlayStation 4 and Switch, already out on Tuesday. Intruders Hide and Seek. That sounds a little weird. PlayStation 4 comes out on Wednesday.
That sounds like a sequel to Robotron. They should
Intruders?
make a sequel to Robotron. They did actually a sequel to Robotron, I think.
Maybe they did. I don't know.
I'm sure.
I mean, Civilization 6 Gathering Storm comes to PC.
Yes, Gathering Storm. It looks really sick.
Do you have a Civ game?
I have actually Civilization 6. The thing is,
this is an expansion, right?
Yeah, this is an expansion. The problem with those is that they could get very addictive. I've gone to bed very, very late because of the one more turn syndrome. You want to play one more turn and one more turn.
This is a game right up your alley, sir. Tokyo School Life. It's coming to Switch. Actually, it came to Switch yesterday, Thursday.
I'll have to see reviews, but yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Degrees of Separation, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. And then today we have Crackdown 3, Xbox One and PC.
Which I'm totally skipping.
Far Cry New Dawn, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Which has my attention.
Jump Force, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
Have you seen those cutscenes?
I have, and while they are bad, I don't think they're as bad as a lot of people are making, but they're not good.
You need to. Well,
I actually saw the video you posted. I'm going, yeah, this
really?
I'm like, this is not good.
I made a mistake. I posted one that was a really long ass, like all the cutscenes, and yeah, that looked PS1 era.
Yeah, it does look dated. It does look dated, yeah.
But I'm talking about like no animation of characters. The characters meant to like run off the screen. Like they take the character and just move him, let's push it without any momentum. Like if it was gonna, he just like, or if it's floating up, he'll be floating up and the exact same pose as he was when he was on Earth. Yeah, it's kind of pretty bad.
It's not good. It's definitely not good.
For what it is, and for the fact that we had Dragon Ball Fighters.
Z.
Yeah.
Fighters. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get you. So yeah, the Jump Force, and then Metro Exodus, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC.
That one definitely has my eye. I can't believe, sir, that you have completely like none. I'm not a care for it.
It's not that I don't have a care. It's just it's not a major thing. The other ones I did the same thing. Like I got to the first Metro 2033 years after.
Yeah, years. Yeah.
And then Last Light was not as long, but again, years after that. So I'm like, this is going to fall in the same camp. I will get to it, but it's going to be...
It's not a day one, but you enjoyed those before.
I did. No, I did. I definitely
a lot.
Enjoyed. The first one. The second one, I don't think I finished, and I think it was because... I don't know what it was, but I didn't finish the second one.
Yeah.
And this one looks to just reinvent the whole series anyway.
It's very European type of...
yes, very European, very Ruski. And of course, we also have the Ghost Survivors DLC coming to, or released today to Resident Evil 2. And of course, if you are a member of Origin or whatever it is, you'll obviously get Anthem today as well. If
you're, I want to keep calling it Prime, but that's not really what they call it. They call it Premiere. There you go.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Origin Premiere.
Origin Premiere.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm doing for that game.
Yeah. And so you're able to play it now. Everybody else has to wait till the 22nd, unfortunately. Let's move on to some news items. This week, believe it or not, Nintendo had a Direct. And here is the top stories from Nintendo Direct. First off, Super Mario Maker getting a sequel for the Switch, not a port. Nintendo isn't porting the beloved Wii U game Super Mario Maker to the Switch. Instead, the company is working on a brand new follow-up called Super Mario Maker 2, and it looks muito bueno.
I am excited for it because I hated the fact that I missed on the original one because it was on the Wii U, and I owned that Wii U at some point, but then I returned it because I wasn't really playing anything on it
Because it wasn't even
because it was a Wii U.
Yeah.
But this one, now I get the chance. Like I kind of like. I'm not a big fan of like remake. I know this is not a remake. This is obviously more
a sequel.
Well, yeah, it's a sequel.
It's a brand new follow up.
Yeah. I like that. I like that they're bringing this now, and now I get the chance to play.
It's coming to Switch. It'll be released this June on Switch, obviously. Zelda Link's Awakening is being revived for Switch, which is an interesting choice.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, of all the Zelda games, why are we going to a Game Boy game? But sure, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening debuted on the Game Boy back in 1993.
Jeez.
1993. That's 25 years ago?
But let me tell you.
26, maybe?
I understand that is the look of Link to the Past then, right? That would have made it that look.
Yeah, but why not just bring Link to the Past? I'm just saying, why not do that one?
Yeah, because you whet the appetite and then you bring the main course. Maybe this is the opportunity because as famous as the Game Boy was, and a lot of people played this. I played Link to the Past, and a lot of people might have, and I can see a whole generation of people that have not played this one.
Yeah,
they can beautify it and make it interesting.
I can definitely see the appeal, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Expect details later because they don't have much now. But the gameplay footage, the same top-down perspective, but with 3D graphics instead of 2D sprites, looks pretty gorgeous.
Interesting.
Platinum Games Astral Chain is coming to Switch this summer.
I saw that.
Scheduled to be released August 30th. Platinum's Hideki Kamiya, is involved with the title, which Nintendo describes as synergetic action game, which is pretty much what they do.
It's the Platinum formula,
yeah, pretty much.
And I saw the trailer because the moment I heard that Platinum was doing something, I wanted to know. They make some of my favorite games. Also, they make some terrible games. Unfortunately, it is pretty.
They're not hit and miss.
They're not hit and miss. They're more hit than miss. But when they miss, it's
off the mark.
Yeah, they fall off badly. Exactly. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like Nier Automata.
No, fuck that. Nier Automata is.
I'm kidding.
Okay. I'm sorry. I wanna breathe in and breathe out. Okay. Remember, there's always Bayonetta. Too far. Bayonetta. It's a great game. Shut up, Gio. Whatever you think, you beautiful man with beautiful voice. And a beard. And your opinion doesn't count. You don't know anything about Bayonetta and this awesomeness. So shout out to Nivel Escondido and the great people that we love over there. Sparrow Wolf. Yeah. Even though he's wrong. Because he hates Bayonetta. Even though he has never played it. And that's his reason.
I am not a huge fan of Bayonetta myself.
You have never played Bayonetta.
I played the demo on PlayStation 3.
That
was enough to say.
Let's on the demo. Another one,
sir.
And not only the demo, the bad demo, because it came out on PS3, which was broken because the PS3 was so fucking difficult to program to. And
yes,
if you would have played it proper, at proper 60 frames per second and everything,
perhaps
you would be singing another tune. This will be You Devil May Cry.
What ifs, sir, is what I'm hearing.
Fix it. Get a fucking Wii, a Switch. It is time already. The first game.
It's past time, yeah.
You get that. The first game that I'm going to give you.
The first game I'm. Oh, okay.
I'm getting to you.
Not gonna.
No, of course not. But I'm getting you that game so you can, and you'll play it to the completion and you will see how awesome it is.
Okay.
That's it.
Astral Chain, guys.
Astral Chain
coming.
I don't know how I feel about that. It looked cool, but it also looked kind of weird.
Well, I mean,
it looked. I don't know, man.
I feel like we're going to walk down this road again. Well, it is these guys, and they made Nier
Automata. Nier Automata is great.
I'm just saying, it's oddball. You got to admit that shit's oddball.
It is, but it's oddball in the sweetest way. It is such a great game. One of the best games of.
No, stop
it. It's one. Hey, it's not me saying it. It's not me saying it.
And you know what? They're not right either. So I'm just saying.
And the best score, also the best music
It had okay music.
Yeah, it has really good music.
Tetris 99 gets a surprise announcement and release.
Following what is Tetris 99, please?
Yes, following hot on the heels of last fall's Tetris Effect comes Tetris 99, a Switch exclusive spin on the Russian classic that puts 99 players into Tetramino combat against each other. Yes.
I got 99 players and a Tetramino ain't one.
Tetris 99 is available right now in the Switch eShop and is a free-to-download game for anyone who has Switch Online, who is subscribed to Switch Online.
Tetris know how to do Battle Royale right.
Evidently, because apparently he's actually very good. I mean, I saw it and I was like, oh, that's okay. But people are like, dude, this is great. I'm like, oh, okay. Hey. Fire Emblem 3 Houses arrives in July.
Okay.
Fire Emblem. Yes.
So
more Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
July 26th. And,
and Fire Emblem.
Be excited for anybody.
Please be
excited. And then
Box
Boy debuting on Switch. Box Boy, series of puzzle platformers. Apparently didn't end with the Nintendo 3DS trilogy, which concluded with Bye Bye Box Boy.
Bye Bye Box
in 2017.
Boy. And now he's back.
And he's back with Box Girl, evidently. So April 26th.
And he looks extremely like Meat Boy. And Box Girl looks like Bandage Girl. But it's okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna force it on that.
We don't know if it's the same type of game. Yeah. Probably it is.
Yeah, I would say so.
Probably not.
I don't know. Maybe. Go ahead, sir.
All right. So last Tuesday, Activision had its quarterly earnings call. And I'm not talking. We already brought this up last podcast. We were talking about the rumblings of people unfortunately losing their jobs. We did talk about that, right? Did we? Was it? No, not at all.
I think it was like rumors and stuff like that, but I don't think we.
No, because it hadn't happened, right? But we were. it was rumored, but didn't we bring that up?
That's possible.
The thing is, okay, so I don't have that particular part of the news. I'm going to talk about something else related to Activision Blizzard. But the bottom line was that, yes, Activision made a lot of money, fired almost 800 people, because of the topic of the week that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be bringing up in a little bit about unrealistic expectations. So Activision Blizzard says that they don't have any major games coming in 2019. So it looks like no big surprises from Blizzard this year. In its quarterly earnings call on this past Tuesday, Activision announced record income as well as layoff for hundreds of employees. Its outlook for income in 2019 is lower. And part of that comes from Blizzard, which will apparently not be releasing any significant games this year. The quote says, turning to Blizzard, we expect materially lower financial performance this year, Activision said on the call. 2018 benefited from the release of World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth, whereas we are not planning any major frontline releases in 2019. Blizzard apparently finished its last quarter for 2018 with, quote, softness for its in-game revenues that will take time to stabilize and return to growth. So evidently, even the titles that are still making money, they're not bringing the dough that they're hoping. That they bring. And I realize this particular story focuses more on Blizzard, but I think in general, like, what else is there that Activision has that is major to release this year aside from Call of Duty? This is a year where
Crash Bandicoot, Crash Team Racing.
For real? That's what's happening. There you go. Yeah. A remake.
A remake of a kart racer.
That's all they have, right now, and of course, more to come.
More to come on that. Yes.
On that.
Oh man, this Wednesday, guys, was the 22nd DICE Awards, and it took place in Las Vegas.
Yes, it was.
Sony's God of War was the big winner. PlayStation 4 exclusive took
by a long shot.
9 total awards, including the highly coveted Game of the Year. Now, it's important to understand that the Dice Awards is not a popularity contest. This is the industry itself coming together and recognizing greatness when it comes to gaming. So it's important to know that this is their own peers saying, man, you guys knocked this shit out of the park. You know.
Yes.
In addition to the Game of the Year, God of War won Outstanding Achievement in Game Direction, Outstanding Achievement in Game Design, Adventure Game of the Year, Outstanding Achievement in Story, Outstanding Achievement in Sound Design, Outstanding Achievement in Musical Composition, Outstanding Achievement in Character for Kratos, Outstanding Achievement in Art Director. Basically, Outstanding Achievement, period.
Outstanding achievement by itself should be
It's anything you put behind that doesn't matter. It's just outstanding achievement.
They want it.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, it's Game of the Year.
It is Game of the Year.
It is Game of the Year.
I would agree. That was my Game of the Year.
That was our pick. Yeah.
God of War was the only one that won multiple awards. Celeste also won Action Game of the Year and Outstanding Achievement for an Independent Game. Shout out to Florence for Portable Game of the Year. Super Smash Brothers won Fighting Game of the Year. Monster Hunter World once again picked up the role-playing game of the year.
It was kind of light on role-playing.
I guess so.
Yes.
Fortnite, of course, outstanding achievement in online gaming. And finally, Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2.
Outstanding achievement in making money.
Yes.
That's
and
Fortnite.
How do you print money?
Yes,
Let's ask
exactly.
Fortnite. And Rockstar, of course, won for Red Dead Redemption 2. Outstanding technical achievement. But that was the only award it won. Just FYI. Just FYI. Okay, now I got another one. Ready? I'm ready.
Now, here's a story about Alfonso Ribeiro and how he lost his battle against the copyright.
That's great. That is
great.
Nice.
The Fortnite dance litigation crumbles. There you go. As Alfonso Ribeiro, otherwise known as Carlton,
As the Carlton dance.
has been refused the Carlton dance copyright. Alfonso Ribeiro, the actor known for playing Carlton on the TV series The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, has hit a major stumbling block, and now stumbling on that word, in his legal action against Fortnite and Epic Games and 2K Games and the NBA 2K series. He has been refused copyright of the Carlton dance. The U.S. Copyright Office made no bones about it. And the quote from it says, upon review of the material deposited for registration, we must refuse registration because the work submitted for registration is simply a dance routine. It says in a letter uploaded to the Hollywood Reporter dated January 22nd. As such, it is not registrable as a choreographic work. Stop me if you heard this before, guys. I believe there was mention, and I brought it up, but I certainly didn't invent it, of the fact that, hey, this happens to be a dance move, not a dance choreography. You know, I'm not trying to copyright the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si. I'm going to say, oh, re and mi are mine, and therefore those are the David notes, and therefore I copyright them. So if you want to make a song in C sharp, you must come to me. Like, you can't do that. And the same thing is with this stupid thing. It's like, you can't just have, if you have a choreography, like a Michael Jackson full choreography, sure, patent the shit out of that. You know, if you need to, that is actually work. That is an artistic, expression, and that is actually entire work. But don't just do a move and pretend that, oh, this is my move, and therefore nobody else can do it unless they pay me money. Like, in what head does that make sense? This is ridiculous, and it is ridiculous that it got that far. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the key word is simple. To register a choreographic work, it has to be substantial. Simple routines of social dance steps, things the basic wall step, or the second position in ballet aren't protectable. The U.S. Copyright Office defined the submitted Carlton dance as containing 3 steps. The dancer sways his hips as they. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna read this. You guys already know what that cartoon looks like. So you don't need to know.
I gotta tell you, I actually read that before, and I was like, yeah, this doesn't describe it for some reason.
It doesn't describe it very well.
Yeah,
maybe they got confused, and that's why. And that's why. They can't do it. So Ribeiro isn't the only celebrity taking legal action against Fortnite and the NBA 2K series of games. He joins rappers 2 Milli, Backpack Kid, and Orange Shirt Kid. Jesus. On the bandwagon, all represented by the same law firm, of course, by the same lawyers. Big surprise. Pierce, Brainbridge, Beck, Price, and Heck. Maldita sea el nombre de la.
Wow.
It's like so confusing to read. Which, anyway, so long story short, yeah, if he cannot get a copyright for quote unquote his dance move,
good luck to the rest.
Then good luck trying to go litigation. And this hopefully sets a precedent and applies.
I think so. I hope so.
For Mr. Backpack Kid for 2 cents or whatever is it they called 2 Milli, Orange Shirt Kid. All those people that think that they can just get away with extorting money from a company just because they're making money.
Yep.
And I understand. Some of you don't like Epic, don't like Fortnite. But you have to understand, this is not a good precedent. Yeah, this does not set a good precedent. Look at games now for Microsoft. Microsoft took away the cartoon and like some of the other moves from Forza, and I understand there's some other games out there that have done the same thing. Like, you don't want to live in that world where everything you want to do, everything you want to do, you have to be careful that you're not infringing to avoid litigation, because you're infringing on something that is so minor. Yes, you don't want to infringe of anybody's copyright, but if everything is copyright, then how are you going to be able to be creative with your work? You can't. Exactly. So
my next piece, guys, comes from Kotaku. Sony says it is open for business on PlayStation 4 crossplay.
Sony is a slut.
But developers disagree.
About what? What is open for business?
The crossplay.
Oh, there you go.
But developers disagree. This one here, actually, so let me just read it, and I'm going to go into my little spiel. In a recent interview with Game Informer, the chairman of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios said that the company was, quote, open for business when it comes to crossplay between PlayStation 4 and other consoles. The makers of games like Smite and Wargroove say, no, that's not the case. Quote, people are saying, why doesn't Sony allow more people to have it? Sony, Sean Layden told Informer, all it takes is for publishers and developers who wish to permission it. As ever, just work with your PlayStation account manager and they will walk you through the steps that we've learned through the partnership with Epic on how it works. I don't believe right now there is any gating factor on that. I think we're open to make proposals because the Fortnite thing worked out pretty well. Well, evidently, a gentleman by the name of Finn Price, also the CEO of Chucklefish, which developed and published the recent Advance Wars-inspired hit Wargroove,
which I heard is great, yeah,
took issue with Layden's characterization in a thread about the interview on the gaming forum Reset Era. Quote, we've made many requests for crossplay, both through our account manager and directly with higher-ups, all the way until the release month. We were told in no uncertain terms that it is not going to happen. Wargroove is currently available with crossplay, Switch, Xbox One, and PC. The game is slated to launch later this year for PlayStation 4. Bryce added that while it might be more complicated from a policy standpoint with PlayStation Part, for Chucklefish, implementing crossplay is as easy as flipping a switch. Excuse me. Something people have speculated ever since Fortnite accidentally enabled crossplay between Xbox One and PlayStation 4 back in 2017.
Yes.
That was a full year before Sony announced it would allow crossplay with Fortnite. So, here. I just want to finish what he says. Just wanted to provide some balance on the issue and say that it certainly isn't a question of developers having not contacted their account managers or having dropped the ball. We were told no. Okay, so
Yikes.
my issue is
That should speak for itself. Actually,
yeah. My issue is with this. I invite you guys to go to Game Informer and read the entire article, the interview. In the beginning of that interview, he says, now there is some confusion when it comes to crossplay. Crossplay isn't always just crossplay. There are multiple facets of crossplay. That's cross progression, cross saves. The cross progression is generally the holdup. The reason for that is we all know that if you buy something on the Sony in a game that's available on multiple platforms, but you buy it on Sony makes 30%. And this, of course, goes the same thing with Xbox One. 30% of the proceeds go to the platform holder.
The same old why.
The same old why, yes. So the concern comes in when you're buying something on the Xbox platform that obviously goes to Xbox, and then you cross play over or cross progress over onto your Sony, and now you're automatically giving it, but Sony never got any money for it. Right. And that's the concern. And I want to make sure people know when he mentions crossplay, he probably in some way refers to the entire crossplay aspect, not just the playing across the two. So when he says it's not, he's saying it's not that, he says it in the interview, Sean Layden, that it's not that easy. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the hang up is that he's referring to. That said, clearly he put his foot in his mouth here. All right. And they basically threw it into his face. This is something that he also says at the beginning of the interview that when they do the numbers, there's not that much of a demand for crossplay. Right. So if you're saying it's not that much of a demand for crossplay, then who cares if you're losing out on whatever progression you're allowing to be crossed? Right. So it's not that big of a deal. So then you're not really going to lose that money. So just fucking let it happen. Let it happen. Let it go and let it happen.
It is a bigger PR damage that you're making yourself by
and you're
posturing like this.
You're talking to someone here, and I don't consider myself a Sony fanboy. It's just the ecosystem that I play in. It's just what it is. I do want to get a Switch. Frankly, and no offense to any Xbox owners, I don't have a reason to buy an Xbox. I really do not.
There isn't one.
So, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. So,
no, me neither. I love Xbox, and right now, there's no reason.
I am not trying to be a fanboy on this, and I'm literally saying this is bad. This is really, really bad that they don't allow this to happen, that they're just being this ridiculous when it comes to it. And this is going to bite them in the ass, especially if we cross into the next generation and we're still dealing with this. And freaking Xbox and Nintendo are just playing together like nothing. And here you are just being walled off because you're being difficult. You know what I mean?
You're already for the strength of your ecosystem and your games and all that. You are already putting making the brand itself look uncool.
Yes.
The brand that was supposed to be quote for the players. You're making it look like you're just not willing to play, or that you don't have to deal with those peasants. Like, let them have cakes. And I'm sure there's a lot of, the fanboys will be ecstatic about it. It's like, yeah, fuck the peasants, whatever, Xbox, fuck you, whatever.
And this stupid. It's a very asinine way of looking at the situation.
Yeah,
like,
well, you don't understand.
It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Just let it happen. Why would you not be consumer friendly this
Why
way?
would you not want to play games with more people, which is what happens. You want to have a console war, then have it on the game. Have it at the game level. You're
already having it on the game level.
How awesome would that be? To play Rocket League, for example, when it's Team Xbox versus Team PlayStation versus Team Nintendo
Switch.
That'll be amazing. If it needs to be that, I'm not saying it needs to literally be that, but how awesome would it be? Those games.
Yeah, it would be great.
And I'm thinking of, I'm not a huge multiplayer game fan, but I have dabbled in some games, and right now I'm playing Apex like crazy. Like, my God, I would love to have the idea. You know,
So
I love the idea.
the progression to come over from one to the other,
Yeah,
just automatically.
and it doesn't
picks
matter.
up,
You know what? This is easily fixable. You don't want, or I shouldn't say easily fixable. I don't want to sound like backseat developer. What I mean to say is that there's probably a solution to the problem of, hey, these items that I bought here, I want they don't necessarily have to show for the player that is looking at you through the other console. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
So if it is like that, I mean, I don't know how easy or
that
how
may actually be a lot harder to
no,
get
true,
done, yeah.
true. That's what I'm saying. But I'm sure
It doesn't matter. Honestly, it's just he said it himself. That's the worst part of it. He literally laid his own egg by saying it's not really that big of a. There isn't a huge demand for crossplay. Like it's a small number. We have a pie graph or some weird shit. We've done the numbers, and it really isn't that big.
Bullshit.
So no, that's what I'm saying. If that's the case, if it truly is the case that is not that big of a deal, then you're not really losing out on much, are
right?
you?
Yeah.
So just do it.
So make it happen so that you don't have to. So you can leave this PR thing behind.
Yeah,
you know,
because it's literally just making it look worse. Yeah. Well, real quick, from the same story, Wargroove isn't the only game in the situation. Stuart Chisholm, the CEO of Hi-Res Studios, which is the maker of Smite, Paladins, and Realm Royale, tweeted at Sony last Friday about the issue. Crossplay for Smite was enabled earlier today on everything PlayStation 4. Mm-hmm. It's time to stop playing favorites and tear down the crossplay / progression wall for everyone, he wrote. We have Smite, Paladins, and Realm Royale ready to go whenever you
There
are.
you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And just like those developers are open
and they're pissed.
Mentioning,
they're pissed because he's saying, "Oh, hey, there shouldn't be a problem. You just get with your whatever." And
Yeah,
they're like,
just talk to
"Motherfucker,
someone."
we have got with them, and they're telling us no."
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, so if you really believe that that's all they should do, then you should talk to your accountant managers or whatever that you're calling them, because they're not letting people do crossplay. They're not letting developers
per the company guideline is what it is. Let's be real.
Exactly. Yeah. And where's your take on that? What do you say to that? You know, because it's easy to try to portray like, oh, nothing is wrong, nothing's happened. It's easy.
There's
all
no
you got to do is this. And what is
hasn't been a response.
This is what is reminding me. At some point, Xbox was that. Xbox was, because remember on the 360 they were first place.
Oh, we have an offline console. It's called the 360.
Well,
it's exactly what that is.
Well, I was going to mention more the Final Fantasy 11. Well, you can play Final Fantasy 11. Oh, you can't play the version of Final Fantasy 11 with PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
There's no reason to. You know, no. They just wouldn't allow it for stupid reason like that. You're in first place. You suddenly think, well, my voice did something weird there. You're in first place, and suddenly you get like this air of arrogance, which we exactly don't want to see, because Sony has come such a long way. And one of the reasons why PlayStation 4 is what ended up being what it was the fact that they fucking listened. Mm-hmm. They really listened. They humbled down. They were good. They were good warriors at some point. It was like, oh, you're offering, how much? $599? $499? No, I mean $399. It's like they were like that. And I don't know. And to be honest, my next news piece kind of goes in tandem with what you were mentioning. Has to do with Sony, and it just doesn't bode well from the looks of it. So Sony has been shuffling their executive. It says to increase focus on PlayStation Network. So former Sony Europe boss Jim Ryan is the new PlayStation president and CEO. Sony is shaking up its management structure for the PlayStation business, a move that signals increased emphasis on the company's PlayStation Network. Starting on April 1st, Jim Ryan will become the president and chief executive of Sony Interactive Entertainment, while the man currently holding that position, John Codera, will become deputy president. That's kind of silly. Like, what is a deputy president? It sounds like a made-up title just to keep it in the board or something. I don't know. While the move will set Ryan and Codera effectively switching job titles, the change in top-level management is indicative of shifting priorities in the PlayStation group. Sony announced the executive shuffle on Monday with CEO President Kenichiro Yoshida saying in a news release that the move will, quote, ensure sustainable evolution of the PlayStation platform and further growth of the network area, end quote. Listen, I'm gonna make a stop here just to say I love that Sony is thinking of focusing on the PlayStation network. They have been doing really, really well. The infrastructure is there. It's like sky miles away better than what it used to be.
Hell yeah.
On the PlayStation 3 era. And if they're trying to focus that more, that almost feels like that cannot spell anything other but than more greatness towards their next platform, whatever that ends up being, right? My only concern is this Mr. Ryan, what's his name? Jim Ryan. Mr. Jim Ryan, on some of his interviews in the past, before he got into this position, let's say, not being super consumer friendly in some of the decisions, and some of them warranted. Like, for example, he talks about backwards compatibility and how, backwards compatibility is something that everybody says they want, but nobody's using. While that's obviously reductive, because I don't think it's like nobody is using it.
No.
I see his point, and I agree. Now, right now, things might be a little bit different. I will argue that this library in this generation is one of the strongest libraries that we have ever had. And it'll be a shame to suddenly not be able to play any of them.
An absolute failure if we get to PlayStation 5 and you cannot play a PlayStation 4 game on it.
You cannot play.
An absolute failure. And honestly, it'll be the beginning of the end.
Dude, it is
the beginning of the end.
It'll be disastrous because you have a library, and I'm talking about not only the physical library,
I'm talking about
digital library
yeah.
that you have that you have built some of the best titles that look great. That they are already patched up to perfection almost. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. It's like they've already run great. And those are communities that will stay for years and years playing, and to not give it the emphasis that it deserves is a little concerning. Now, to be fair, Mark Cerny was saying recently that Sony have been, which is the ironic thing, they have found a way to implement backwards compatibility in a different way that could actually make it to where you could play almost every generation of PlayStation. I mean, I might be not paraphrasing this correctly, but just hearing that makes me hopeful because Mark Cerny is an incredible engineer.
Yes,
and if there's a possibility that he could come up with something that will allow that backwards compatibility, then I hope it's true because so far we have a president that is kind of like against it, and maybe not against it, but I will say
it's not a primary focus.
Yeah, exactly.
And in truth, you know what? No, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it needs to be a primary focus. However, it needs to be implemented.
Well, you just said that'll be the beginning of the end.
No, I'm saying it needs to be implemented. It doesn't need to be a primary focus. In other words, don't go breaking the bank to make it backwards compatible, but make it happen.
It should be a feature.
And the infrastructure from PlayStation to PlayStation, I'm sure is going to be very similar.
Yeah,
just make it happen.
It's a PC already.
This should not have an issue.
Yeah,
it's one thing going back further. All right, I get it. No one's going to go back to PlayStation 1 games. I mean, yes, there are going to be, but for the most part,
if it's not difficult though. If it's not difficult to do,
if it's not difficult to do. Yeah. I mean, if it's very easy, then just make it happen. If it's not that, it doesn't matter if nobody uses it. Just make it happen anyway. Yeah. Let them remember. Oh man, these games look ugly. You know what I mean? Just let them see it for themselves. Going, man, this shit really did not.
But they're super fun anyway.
Yeah.
Sony a tag tournament. A Tekken tag tournament.
Yeah, but that's an ugly ass looking game. I'm just saying.
Hey, you're not wrong, but I'm gonna let it.
My next piece is Hollow Knight, guys.
Hollow
Hollow Knight
Knight.
developers announce a full sequel called Silk Song.
Say what? A full sequel?
A full sequel. Hollow Knight developer Team Cherry surprised fans this morning, the morning of the 14th, which is yesterday, by announcing a full sequel to 2017's bug-filled Metroidvania game, and it's called Hollow Knight Silk Song. Silk Song stars Hornet, the princess protector of Hollowness from the previous game, who provides some challenging fights against the main protagonist, the Knight. According to the blog post by indie studio Team Cherry, Hornet was kidnapped, and taken to a whole new kingdom haunted by Silk and Song. Her journey through to the kingdom's peak takes her past 150 new enemy types and through vivid environments like coral forests, mossy grottos, gilded cities, and misty moors. I love Hollow Knight. I'm there's a freaking.
Is that on PS4?
Yes, I'm playing on PS4 right now. And these the Watchers have me, and they're a difficult boss. I actually looked it up. As far as difficulty, like ranking, and they're like number 2 on the list. I'm like, son of a bitch.
So you haven't even counted whatever's the most difficult thing.
I know. I have no. Yeah, I don't remember what it is now, but
Mr. X.
But whatever it is, and I'm not sure where I'm in the game, but I'm somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, So I'm like, if I just get past this, I know that I can get. You know what I mean? So it's like, just need to get past this. But no, Hollow Knight is an amazing game. Yeah. An amazing game. Very fluid, very beautiful, and to know that this was kickstarted as additional content, but to know that they really said no, they built it into this game of its own. I'm like, that's even more. And hey, money, I'll give you money for it. I'll give you money for it.
You know what else is beautiful and runs silky smooth? A little known indie title called Fortnite. No, I'm just playing. Fortnite. Fortnite players can get the next battle pass for free.
Hopefully.
And mind you,
yeah.
We rarely, if ever, bring news of patches about Fortnite because neither one of us are Fortnite players, and we don't feel it whenever we hear these things. But the reason why I bring this particular one up is because it's kind of interesting and kind of interesting timing. I would say, gee, I wonder why. For the best part of last year, of a year, Fortnite has been king of the battle royale in both terms of player and revenue. PUBG and Blackout have attempted to usurp the free-to-play shooter, but Epic Games has successfully managed to fend off his competition, with the promise of addictive gameplay and regular updates. However, there's a new pretender to the throne. In the space of 2 weeks, Respawn's Apex Legends have amassed 25 million players and become streamers' battle royale of choice. Epic Games know that it has a fight on its hands and has begun employing the clever tactic of giving away stuff for free in order to keep its player base loyal. So, as part of Fortnite's version 7.40 update or 7.40, Epic Games has told players that if they're willing to complete 13 overtime challenges, they'll get Season 8's Battle Pass for free. The Battle Pass typically costs 950 V-Bucks, so around $10, and provides players with 100 in-game rewards, including skins, emotes, weapons customizations, and more. I heard the cartoon dances in that. Mm-hmm. Players have until February 27 to complete all these challenges and save some cash in the process. So yeah, the main reason bringing it up is because as I'm sure at some point last month we were still thinking, man, that Fortnite is like it's a force to be reckoned with. It's invincible. I mean, it has solely been responsible for creating a competitor for Valve in the form of a game store, for it, and it is everything that Epic Games once known for different, many different titles. and the engine itself, Unreal, they're pretty much focusing on just this game because this is the big moneymaker. I mean, they hit jackpot with this, obviously. So it was impossible to think that they were ever gonna be challenged again.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought Call of Duty had the biggest chance.
Had the biggest chance,
and they blew it by making you pay full price for for it. That's not the way you compete against Fortnite.
Nope.
Now the guys at Respawn were smart enough to know that, evidently, and I'm sure in spite of EA, they went ahead and released for free the game. And it's not just the fact that it's free, but it has no right to be. It's like it's an amazing title. And a lot of people are therefore playing it. Even people like, I was showing you a video today of Jim Sterling. He is Jim Sterling, famous YouTuber, famous persona on the Jinquisition, and he is very critical of a lot of things. Actually, yes. I think that's his shtick.
Of pretty much everything. Yeah.
He is very critical. And with what we reason, you more often than not, you tend to side with him just because he have a cynical way of looking at the gaming industry, but one that is not underserved because we're talking about EAs, we're talking about Activision and Ubisoft of the world and stuff like that. So anyway, even which at the very first impressions that he made, he was kind of like, oh yeah, this is good. I don't know how much, this how long feet it has. It looks interesting, but it has micros or loot boxes, whatever. And he actually ended up making another video when he was like, actually, guys, this game is fucking awesome. It was pretty much that. Yeah. He was praising the thing. He was lamenting the fact that it still have, loot boxes, which he considers gambling, and I personally agree in a sense of that. I just have less of a problem when I haven't paid a single dime for the game. I'm more willing to accept that, but yeah, people that have swore never trying or never caring for battle royale are now playing this thing and be like, okay, this is my first battle royale, or I've played this game more than any other battle royale, including PUBG and Fortnite, combined. And hearing that has gotten Epic a little nervous now to where they're starting to take steps. I don't think this is going to be the only step.
Yeah.
But this is definitely...
I think this is definitely a baby step.
Yeah.
It is... I agree that this obviously... I mean, the fact that they were already within... It came out on Monday?
A month?
Monday last week.
Last week, yeah.
So we're in 2 weeks in. They're already at 25 million total player count.
Right.
So yes, it has exploded.
Yeah.
And definitely for good reason. I don't know if that suddenly is... I mean, obviously, that's something that Epic is probably going to keep an eye on. I don't know if that suddenly dethrones them. I'm pretty sure they're still making
there's a long way to
of
go,
monies.
Yeah.
And in the end, this doesn't appeal as normally to a lot of the young people who can still play on their phone and play all that stuff. So they don't have. I don't think they have to worry just yet. However, and I also don't know if this, I think that this step that you're referring to is really more of a baby step because some of those challenges that you can get are damn real impossible. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I've seen some of the stuff and
not like to the loyal fan base though. To the loyal fan base,
I'm talking about
they're not easy.
I'm talking about the loyal fan base who are going, damn, this shit is fucking hard. Right? So, like, one of the challenges, I don't know all of them.
That's not the point. The point is they still haven't tried it, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
But obviously, you still got to get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And one of them is an area where you got to, so it's an area you have to drop down, and it's this specific area, and you got to open like 10 or 12 chests or something like that. Well, it's like, okay, that sounds simple enough, right? Well, no, everybody's going there. So the moment you open 1 or 2 chests, you are under fire. You know what I mean? So it becomes this thing. You're like, shit. You know what I mean?
But it won't stop people from trying. It won't stop people from trying.
No, I'm not saying it won't stop people from trying. Obviously, it's getting them into the game to play it. Yeah. However, I still think it's a baby step in the sense that may burn some people as well. You know what I mean? Just like, you know what? Man, fuck it, I'm just gonna go. So this may actually hurt them. Yeah, it may actually backfire on them because it's an interesting challenge, but it's not exactly winning them over either.
I tell you what. I do know what you mean by baby step, in the sense that they really don't have to do any major course correcting right now, because they're still fucking Fortnite. They're still up there,
and they are still technically a force to be reckoned with.
They're still powerful now. To say that they don't have anything to worry about right now,
no.
It'll be
at this moment, yes.
They can. It'll be incredibly stupid for them to just take it slow. This might be a baby step, but this is not the only step that they're doing. And I'll tell you why. Before Fortnite, there was PUBG. PUBG was a fucking force to be reckoned with. It was something that nobody thought that anybody could put it out. Fortnite came out of nowhere and did just that. And because history has happened already, it could be
Fortnite
repeated
came out
again.
of nowhere, but it was also free,
right?
Compared to PUBG, which was not.
Right. But,
and right now, the majority of people are in with Apex Legends, but their battle passes haven't been released yet.
Right.
So once
they
those
literally
started
2 weeks ago.
No, I know, but I'm saying they're coming out. I think as early as next month is when it starts, or something like that. Yeah. So that will obviously even the playing field a little bit more, because okay, now you have, if you're going to be a true Apex player, you're going to have to buy in, or maybe I'm not that big of it. You know what I mean? So that'll be the tail. That's what I'm saying. Right now, yes, it's an interesting step that they made to do that, to make that the possibility of having the next was it season 8 or whatever it is? Season 8 free. The possibility of having it free. I don't know if that was a smart decision, the way they did it, right. But I still think that it's still too early to say. Okay, now I'm not saying just the fact that people have been playing Fortnite for a year now is enough to go, I need a little new stuff. You know what I mean?
Try.
Yeah. So
they're not gonna. They've been playing forever. They're not gonna suddenly have this challenge and be like, this is impossible. I think I'm burned out. Let me switch. Epic's what Epic's trying to do here is not trying to attract any new players. It's keeping the same ones. Keeping their fan base. They're suddenly bleeding it out a little bit. It might be a small cut, but it's still profound enough, because 25 million, and being the number one streaming thing. Fortnite is no longer there, and that happened in a matter of a week. That's kind of something that they should be worrying about. But yes, it just should be worrying. This didn't take 6 months or a year or anything like that. This is where, if Fortnite doesn't do anything and it just keeps like Fortnite being Fortnite and they don't do anything more, I can see at the end of this year the throne. I can see it.
I can, honestly and truly, as much as I'm saying they don't really have much to wear at this moment, I think in 6 months they're going to be. But I don't think it has anything to do with other than being the new kid on the block. The new kid on the block who's doing something new, who it's the same. Literally, it's the same game, right? Realistically, right? With no building mechanics and all this stuff. It is the new flavor of the year, or the flavor of the genre, or however you want to put it. So I think that them doing that doesn't really stop it doesn't stop the fact that you're gonna have people go, hey, this is pretty cool over here. You know what I mean? Let's try. We've been doing this for so long. Let's try this over here. And I think that's what Twitch literally is reflecting. It's reflecting the fact that, you know what? Twitch is tired a little bit of Fortnite. Yeah, you have your passionate whatever, but the passionate group are always a small group of the overall whole. And yeah, they're going to stay there, but that overall whole is finicky. They're fickle. They'll move on. This is the newest thing. Let's circle over here. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to happen regardless.
Let me ask you this, though. Mm-hmm. How many new kids on the block has there been, though? It hasn't been. It wasn't just Apex that came out after.
Yeah, but Apex is literally
so many.
True, but
and they have come and gone because they can't.
Apex is the only one that literally did the same thing they did, which is it's free. You can play now.
No, wait.
Who else is free?
They have been other time. I mean, I will have to look it up.
Other battle royales that have been
yes, there have been other battle royales that have been free.
On console and everything.
Well, no, I don't know if I can.
I don't want. I want to. I mean, not that I'm. This is. I know I make jokes about PC and all that. I'm not trying to make a joke about PC. I'm just saying.
No.
PC obviously is is unfortunately still not everybody has a gaming PC that can do those whatever. I'm talking about a console game.
But PC is literally the biggest gaming platform of all combined.
If you say
combined
so,
console. No, it's the fact. It's a fact. I'm not
hear
saying
you.
so.
I hear you, but the
a lot more people have gaming PC. I mean, yes, consoles are huge and all that, but every household has a PC that can play Fortnite.
I hear you.
Almost all of them.
I hear you, but I'm still pretty sure that realistically, it has to be on console in order for it to matter. Unfortunately,
no, I don't think that.
I know
that is.
You can disagree.
That
I get it.
That is a very skewed view.
I'm sure it is
because
I'm sure it's my own view. But I'm sure. Hey, I will agree with you.
There have been games that have become huge without the need to be
and they still need to come to console.
No. They expand on console because console is a market that is. Why would obviously, why would you leave that thing on
tapped?
But there are many games that come on PC that never come on console, and they're fine. They don't need to be.
Perhaps. But I'm but sticking with let's not get into the whole thing. Let's stick with the battle royale thing. I'm pretty sure this is the only one that literally, I don't want to say copy because they really didn't copy. They're really doing their own thing, but it is very, very similar to what Fortnite did, which is the fact that they're free, the fact that anything you buy is cosmetic. There's nothing. Nothing that affect the gameplay, and it's available all over the place right now. It's on. I mean, yes, it's not on freaking phone.
It's not
like that.
They're not on mobile.
Yeah, it's not on mobile, but it is available on console. And that's not to say it won't be on mobile. But right now, it's not on mobile. It is on consoles. It is on PC. It's available all over the place. And in just one fell swoop, it goes, "Hey, guess what? We have something better."
Right.
Or even better, hey, guess what? We have something different.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. You know what I mean? And I don't think there has been any other release of a battle royale game.
I assure you, we can pause if you like. We can pause right now. We can research, and then we can come back.
We have a segment. We have a break within the segment. We will do it during that.
We should actually look for it because I know there have been. And the thing is, yes, there probably aren't that many that have thrown the 3 console. The full console strategy. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the Apex didn't need to come on all 3 to develop the following that it had because Fortnite didn't come on consoles either first. Fortnite was strictly PC, PUBG was strictly PC, and this one, if anything, this is the only one that had come with the 3 at the same time. But Fortnite became huge.
I honestly think that's why. It's a different strategy they take to say, hey, here you go. It's everywhere. It's free. It's available for everyone. Right. And it's awesome on top of all that.
Right.
And I think that's something that hasn't happened before Fortnite or since Fortnite.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's my point. Since Fortnite, no one has come out as a beautiful launch as these guys had because they had an absolute excellent launch.
Yeah. No early access bullshit.
No, like early access stuff. Here's the game. It works. It runs exactly the way it's supposed to run. And guess what? It's free. And it's a great shooter. It has so many little options.
Yeah.
It has more things available there than I think any other battle royale game. So basically, they were prepared.
No doubt.
They were prepared for it. And I think, and again, on top of that, Fortnite's just been around too long at this point.
It's
you know
only been a year and a half.
I know, but and a year and a half in gaming is an eternity.
Not necessarily.
Yes,
World of Warcraft I want to introduce you to my friend World of Warcraft from 10 years. By the way, another game that has not needed to be on consoles.
And you've played it a bunch of times. You go, damn, this shit looks dated.
Yeah, it does.
That's what I'm saying.
But it still have like 10 million players. Wait, where are these players coming? I'm sure that they're playing on their PlayStation 4.
They could be. That's the only way you get the updated graphics.
And the other 5 million players.
Exactly. Yes. There you go. my last piece. I'm just going to run through this. My last piece. Activision says 2019's Call of Duty will have a campaign.
There you go.
Yes. Because they're like, yeah, we really didn't mean to leave out a campaign. We just up the campaign.
Hey, man, we had that battle royale. You guys probably have heard it, but
Blackout, you like it.
Now Apex is out, so Blackout, it's, I guess, fuck it. Okay, we'll bring you back. No, I don't know what happened for real.
I don't know what happened either, but obviously they were not there were rumors that something happened with the campaign. It wasn't coming together fast enough.
For this one.
The last one. Yeah. So this one, obviously, they have 3 studios. So basically take essentially 3 years for each one.
Whoever's turn is now.
Yeah.
Will bring us.
They've been doing it now for 2.5 years.
That's cool. I'm ready for, but well, anyway. No, I was gonna say now it needs to be something major for single player campaigns, because single player campaigns are not doing it anymore. Battlefield 5.
Yeah, but are those really single? I mean, that's what I'm saying. Yes, Battlefield 1 had those vignettes, and you know what I wanted? More of it. I got 5 vignettes, and they were all too short.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want more of this. Yeah. And what did they do? They just brought the most recent Battlefield. They did the same thing again. It's just like, guys, and then they don't even include the freaking Battle Royale mode. Let me talk about that.
So it's not even. I honestly, nothing else is like super major over here. Okay. So
no worries.
If anything else happens, we'll let you know in the next segment.
All right, guys, we'll be right back with our hot topic.
Let's watch Super Mario Brothers movie.
Do it now. We are back, guys. And right before we go into our hot topic of the week, Mr. Santos has pie graphs.
This just in. There are 1.8 billion gamers in the world, and PC gaming dominates the market. This is on April 26th of 2016 report, so I'm sure this is old already. This is old news, you know.
Obviously, it was a nice little spike. You guys had a good time. It's all over now.
The PC versus console argument has raged across the internet for as long as the respective devices have been in existence. Leading the way is the Mouthful podcast with host Mad Dog and Dream Twister. Every gamer has different opinions about the console.
Thank you, mygaming.com.
Yes, exactly. Thank you
for the shout out.
mygaming.com for the shout out, indeed. Yes. The amount of gamers in the world have reached 1.8 billion, with 1.2 billion gamers playing on PC. 62% of gamers use PC, while 56 use a console.
See, let's look at these numbers again.
We need a mathematician for this because we want to understand.
With 1.2 billion on PC, but no, that's 62%. This isn't adding up.
Do you know how it adds up?
This is.
If you know how it adds up, say a person like me. I own a console. I own a PC. I contribute towards both charts, both percentages.
Jesus Christ.
And that's why,
sir, this hokey math of yours.
When you take 62% and 56%, it doesn't equal 100 because
God forbid it equals 100%.
It doesn't, because he's not looking at it.
118%, which means we're not counting. There's something we're not counting.
It is what it is when they're interviewing, when they are getting. And you should know this because you have seen like on elections, for example, you know, actually, let's not use that.
let's not go there.
Math over there. Yeah, I take it back. I take it back. Let's use it in math.
In other words, what you're saying is that this math is just as good as the electoral votes. Okay. Good to know, sir.
No, what I wanted to say,
it all comes together.
What I wanted to add is when they're asking these people, they're not selecting one answer exclusively. They're selecting multiple choices, and that's why the percentages will grow.
I get it, sir. I get it.
Yes,
it's still hokey math.
No,
that's all I'm saying.
It doesn't conform with your view, which is that somehow there are more console gamers than PC gamers.
This makes as much sense as
console gamers.
Common Core is easier to figure out than this shit, right?
That's true. But Common Core still gives you the right answer.
Does it?
It does. It's math.
I have no idea. I have never used it before.
It's just the scenic route towards getting the answer.
It is.
Yes. So with that argument finally put to rest, thank you very much for finally understanding facts and not looking at the alt media of console gamers.
Honestly, those pie charts we saw were all, I don't know.
I'm going to post them.
By all means, sir.
I'm going to post them. And
speaking of posts, another breaking news.
Yes.
Unfortunately, for anybody who's looking for the Joker movie starring, what's his name? Jared Leto. has unfortunately been canceled via DC Films.
This is breaking news from Benji Roberts. Robles, maybe? Robles?
Roblets.
Sure.
Benji Roblets.
Benji Roberts from the group.
Yes.
Big shout
Good
out to
job,
you.
Tom.
Thank you for letting us know. Of course, Froy Rosado comments good.
Yes.
And
Well
I'm
done.
sure a lot of you guys agree.
Me too.
This is not the what's his name?
No, it's not the more serious one, which is what is his name? It's gonna kill me now.
It's gonna kill you. See, we were concerned because the guy from her.
Yeah, I know you're looking him up.
Yeah. He's gonna tell you his name, but we were concerned when we saw that.
Joaquin, this is not the Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes, no,
Joker
that's still happening.
Yes,
hopefully.
that is according to IMDb.
It's still happening. Okay, yeah, but the Jared Leto one Joker,
Which let's be real, was not a good freaking Joker. Anyway,
I like the way it looked. Like I like the idea of a crazy psychopath Joker, but then I heard of the way it was portrayed, and it was like, okay, so this will end up being just bullshit. It's
pretty much.
Yeah, DC, come on, DC.
All right, guys, let's get into our hot topic here.
Hot topic.
Hot topic this week again is unrealistic expectations. This is, of course, regarding the crazy layoffs. So I'm actually going to read this story. This is from Polygon. It kind of goes into. This was actually very recent. And I think you went a little bit into it. So I'm just going to kind of touch up on it. Activision Blizzard leadership made widespread layoffs, cutting 8% of its staff, which is approximately about 800 jobs, despite posting record-setting revenue for 2018 fiscal year. We won't get into what they said because we already kind of mentioned it. They basically are projecting that the next year, this upcoming year, will not see the same numbers, and so they're essentially preparing for it, is what it sounds like. They're like, well, we're not going to be able to pay everybody the same and still pocket money, so let's just get rid of some people so we can still pocket said money. Yeah, exactly. So the reason we bring it up is because, one, first off, it's a very sad thing. There were a lot of people going into work throughout the week, not knowing that this is, this will be... their last day, they just didn't know when it was going to be. And it's still happening now. I think it has been spread out to everybody who's going to be let go. So little by little, it's happening. There are, and I thought I had it saved here, but essentially there are some stuff that they are doing for these people. They're not just letting them go and then that's it. They, they're continuing benefits. They are getting severance packages. All these things are being happened. So it's not just... It's still a hard blow, but it's not pulling the rug from them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not telltale.
It's not telltaling. Yeah. I didn't want to say telltale, but damn it, telltale. What the fuck? Yeah. So they're not doing that. Obviously, they're doing what they can, and I believe they also mentioned some placement. A possible placement, or at least assistant in placement for jobs. The reason we bring this up is because the question is, whose fault is this? Is it because that they are... So we had mentioned before regarding EA. All right, not to bring up EA every time here, but we mentioned it before regarding EA where they were expecting sales of Battlefield 5 to be around the 8.5 million units sold. And they only sold 7.5, right? And in most eyes, you go, well, what the hell? You still sold 7.5 million. How can that be an issue? Well, these big corporations, they do make decisions, purchases, movement based on expected revenue, right? So if you're saying we're going to we're projecting to sell 8.5 million, we're buying and selling and doing everything we can do based on that revenue that will eventually come in. And if it doesn't come in, then it falls short, and that can cause a hit. For a mega corporation like Activision, obviously, it's not going to be that huge of a deal. That said, they are losing Bungie, which, like it or not, that's still a revenue stream. And yes, it was less than they were expecting, I guess, when it came to Destiny 2 and all its updates. And
are they losing them, or are they letting them go? Because there's a big difference there.
I don't know. I think they're losing them.
I think they're letting them.
Bungie's saying, guys, I think this is more of a Bungie decision or want than it is an Activision going, yeah, we don't want you anymore. because you said yourself earlier in the thing, what else do they have? Why would you give up? And not that it's a golden goose, because obviously, it's waning a little bit, but why would you give up a revenue stream? I guess that said, they also are a strain on the company as well. Yeah,
and that's the reason I bring the question to start this this topic. Bungie was actually let go. Bungie, of course, I'm sure they wanted the independence. Of course, they were celebrating the independence when they got it, but it was this was not a decision of Bungie saying, guys, we want to let go, and then Activision saying, fine, then these are the things. No,
the terms.
Yeah. Right. So this is from the reports that I've seen.
Okay, I was going to say
this has been sorted. The idea is that Activision, and actually, there's a very good. I'm going to see if I can post it. There is a really good article that talks about it, but it basically boils down to Activision did not see that for the rest of the contract that they had. Remember, this was a 10-year contract.
10-year contract, yeah.
Did not see that, or did not think that the revenue that they were gonna get from the Destiny franchise was going to be like you said, it was gonna strain them too much. Yes, they were gonna. If they're not in the game to break even. No, their expectations are always going to be stratospherical, because the problem is these companies are being run by executives who, fairly enough, their job doesn't necessarily need to be. They should be well informed in games and the trends and all that, but it seems more like they just want to focus on making money and are not paying attention on these trends evidently. I'm not saying all of them are like that.
No, definitely. I did find out something recently that breaking even is still considered a loss in business, because you don't really actually break even. You actually, if you were to break even, the money you put in, time. And not only that, you still have to pay your shareholders dividends. If you break even, you're still having to pay them whatever, so you're still actually at a loss. So you always have to be ahead of the game when it comes in. I was speaking to my wife about it, because she's taking business right now. And I was just curious. I was like, hey, how does what does it sound like to you? I started throwing the scenario as to what happened, and she goes, it sounds like, they're needing to probably restructure because of this and this and that. And she has no idea what's going on. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. You know what I mean? So
she doesn't need to know about games in order to understand. Which I believe is the point where a lot of these executives are. A lot of these executives are brought from different industries, even the food industry, for example, stuff like that, where it's not that they understand this is battle royale is the big thing right now. It's just that their decision, they're there to manage the money flow, basically, and they have their consultants and all that. But the problem is that at the end of the day, I feel like they're the ones having the expectations when they say, this year Battlefield should be selling 7 million units, and then it moves 5. Oh, well, it underperformed, compared to
go.
It still made you money, because you still you didn't waste. It wasn't a failure, like a movie failure where this movie cost $200 million to do, and it only brought 20 million, in revenue. That's a failure, right? Yeah. So it's not like in gaming it's happening like that. I'm sure there's might be some games that happen, but it's rare, because with gaming, it's a lot more difficult for that to happen. I'm not saying it doesn't, but it does, the variables are a little bit more controllable rather than with movies, So my concern here is that it's them having those expectations. They're not met. They still have to maintain, like you said, the level of the part where they have to make the money, the money portion they have to make, that cannot shrink. So the next thing that they shrink is, the workforce. especially when they don't have anything on the table to bring to deliver. But here's the part that confuses me. If they make more money, if this was a record year, where is the part where they're losing money they cannot hand to the
stakeholders?
Well, in this case, to the stakeholders and the workers. Why can't that? That's the part that confuses me.
The workers are still considered stakeholders. They have a stake in the company because they work there. But I agree. It doesn't make sense. And the only way to look at it to make sense is to say it's the same old why, right? Because that's what it comes
right. Like, be cynical and be like, well, of course they want to line their pockets more.
It makes sense when you look at it that way because and yes, they are still doing stuff for these people who are letting go, and I get you. But when you look at other companies, gaming companies specifically, that don't do this, they go through the ups and downs because every company will. There's just no way of always going up.
Yeah.
Even the best company has their down times. You know what I mean?
Hello, Nintendo.
I was just going to say Nintendo. Yeah. Nintendo another one. And Nintendo actually has gone on record saying they do everything they can to avoid a layoffs. They redistribute. They and then Ubisoft apparently does the same thing because if you really think about it, they don't have any layoffs and they've shut down divisions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To say okay,
not the division,
not the division. Yeah.
Division.
You heard it here first. They shut down divisions. No.
Probably
they shut down divisions of their own company. But what they do is they allocate those resources elsewhere. To they don't just let things go.
Yeah.
So where's the disconnect here? Is it because Nintendo obviously is primarily a Japanese company. Ubisoft is primarily a European country, French company. Is it the fact that this is an American thing? Is it a capitalist nation that just
the capital?
You know what I'm saying? Is that the reason why? Because it's always, we don't want to allocate. We just want to cut the fat and keep whatever we can have because that seems to be what it is.
Well, I don't know. You tell me. You have companies like Nintendo. Nintendo had a period of time where they were not doing very well. They were not doing very well at all.
The whole Wii U.
The whole Wii U thing.
Yeah.
They were not doing very well. They were losing money. And guess what? They didn't fire. They weren't restructuring, firing people. You know what they did? Their CEO, the late Iwata-san, he took a pay cut. Yes. Would you see fucking Bobby Kotick taking a pay cut for this? No, he'd rather cut the the workforce.
What we notice on companies like these, and unfortunately, yes, this is an Activision specific thing, but it happens at other companies like EA and all this stuff. Is that what do they do when they realize that they're about to either lose money or whatever? Either they let go of workforce, or that CEO or that big wig moves on to something else. And when they move on to something else, it's not for a pay cut. It's like the one from Microsoft. What's his name? The one who
Don Matrix.
Don Matrix.
Yeah,
he went to Zynga.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like a pay cut. He was literally
he left. He was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
Yeah, and
this is not working.
And that's the problem. I think that's the main issue with Activision. It's that they as much as I am not a corporate apologist in the least.
No.
Okay. But I understand business is business and the business itself as a stakeholder. Like just I'm not going to say where we work, but we're a company where we work at right now. I understand when sometimes you just things need to move on and it needs to, and the company needs to survive because that's the point. As a stakeholder, I want the company to survive because I'm an employee of it. So I get that, but I could not imagine working for a company that is so blatantly just, like nonchalant about, we got to get rid of.
They don't. I tell you,
it's unbelievable to me sometimes. I just go, really? Is this really what it's about? And I'd never heard of this. Have you heard of a company that has laid off 800? I mean, it's a little less than that, but let's say 800 people, and that not be a big thing.
Yeah, no. The only the gaming industry is the experts on that.
Any other industry, I mean, that would be on the news.
But not only the game industry, it's always the same players, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, and I hate to be cynical about it, although I will be about portraying the company, portraying the corporations. Oh, this corporation is good. This corporation is evil. But when I say evil, make it understand that I'm not talking about devil horns and a freaking tail. What I'm referring is there's companies that literally do not give a shit about their workforce. This is all cattle. This is all just to make money. And if they're not making money, we're just going off with their heads like it's nothing. Like it's not families that are losing their money. Fuck it. Bobby Kotick, his winnings are not going to be reduced, not even by a single penny. This company made more money this year. They have record revenue. I don't know how.
18.
They're not going to get rid of CEO like that, as they will, as a shareholder would do with somebody like Don Matrix, for example, for Microsoft. Don Matrix make a huge mistake with the Xbox One. They pretty much destroyed the Xbox, brand for this generation, and then it was up to freaking Phil Spencer, Xbox Jesus, to try to do as much as it could,
to basically put Xbox back on the mind share of people
as much as it could, because the damage is already done. The damage is already done.
Yeah.
So he was basically like a counselor at this point. But then you have so you have companies like like EA. And Ubisoft actually had a good quarter, is my understanding. They I mean,
as far as
and they did not laid off 800 people.
No,
like Activision had a good quarter. Good quarter.
They don't that's the thing. They don't generally do that. You can actually look up. There are articles about the closing or whatever, and then they have plans. Yeah. Like the plan is there. This is why I'm like, why can't this be done? Why can't this be done at Activision? Especially when you're making record sales, record revenue. It can easily be done. You just say, okay, we'll look, and I get it. There are obviously divisions within Activision. I guess we're working specifically with Bungie, and obviously Bungie's not there anymore. They obviously don't need them. But I'm like, you got to go somewhere else. They even said in the earnings call that they're focusing on making more on games. I'm like, well, if you're focusing on that, then you have a workforce. Why are you
not funding them?
Yeah.
What does Activision have for this year? Honestly, it's Call of Duty. And
I think that's what it is. I think it has more to do with that than anything else. It's like, you know what, this year, and of course, Blizzard doesn't have a Diablo coming out except for the Diablo mobile, which clearly is going to shit the bed when it finally comes out.
It's not even developed by them.
Exactly. So that's really it. That's all they have. And Overwatch is also slowly but surely, there's diminishing numbers. There's diminishing returns there. Yeah. Especially with Apex, you know what I mean?
Yeah, especially now. Apex.
So you have
bringing battle royale to the masses.
Exactly.
Spreading the gospel.
Part of me goes, it feels like there was a huge turn or something occurred. That's why the Bungie thing, to me, I get what they say that it was Activision doing this, but I'm like, if they did this, why would they? When you go, okay, maybe it's not going to be the same return, but now you're looking at a year of nothing, or very little. Again, Crash Team Racing, I assume will be their savior for the year.
Who knows? Maybe they saw what they had planned ahead, and they were looking at. I mean, we thought that it was going to be better with the latest expansion, the one that actually did well, Forsaken, and it didn't bring the numbers. So I'm afraid that we're gonna have to let you let you guys go. And this is the reason why I feel very bad when suddenly a studio gets acquired by one of these pillar companies, and they're talking about, hey, we have a partnership with this. No, dumbasses, you guys just became their slaves, and now your studio is not your studio, it's their studio. Unless you're as smart as Bungie was when they put on paper, like, no, we're gonna make Destiny. This is gonna be the contract, but Bungie is still fucking Bungie, and that's why you see, and that's why you see freaking EA acquiring studios and then devouring them, and then when they don't produce anymore, they just lay them off and they close them.
Going back to actual expectation things, I think that in business there's a certain amount that I'll never forget. I had a talk with an old boss of mine, and he was going over stuff, and it just kind of went over my head. This is when I was younger, and he was just saying, no, as a company, there is a standard increase or growth that you expect every year. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. To fall short of that, you are not doing well. You know what I mean? And that's essentially what you want. So when you have these companies, you figure, okay, maybe it is unrealistic, the expectations that they're putting in. Thinking of Square and the fact that 5 million units of Lara Croft wasn't enough. But then when I look at, Sony, and they go, yeah, but we only expect to sell 1 million units of the VR, PlayStation VR in the first year. And that was very modest.
Yeah, that's
extremely
reasonable.
modest. It's like, okay, and like it or not, whether we use VR or not, it is ahead of what their expectations are. Yeah. I think already passed 3 million units, and we're only on we're just over the second year.
Yeah.
So the fact that they had such low, I don't say expectations, but low goals. They were like, hey, this is how much we're going to spend. So a lot of people look and say, yeah, but it's not the best VR unit. It doesn't matter. It's still the most affordable VR unit, easy to get into and easy to, put there. You just need a PlayStation. Boom, plug it in, it works, So that's where I'm like, it's a numbers game. And I think that I think personally that Activision completely made a wrong move on a number somewhere, including the Bungie issue. And this year, man, they're just like, they're looking at that because I'm sure as a company, they look ahead to the new fiscal year and going, yeah, we don't got much going on, guys. So chances are between now and then, this number is going to go down to here. We still have to pay our shareholders, you know what I mean? Because, hey, that's what it's about. I still want my bonus, right? You know what I mean? So, and before you know it, the wrong people are they go low of 800 people.
As opposed to a bunch of other companies where
what they do is they go, okay, unfortunately, we made this mistake. Now we all need to fix. Now we as a company should come together, including the head.
Yeah.
Similar to Iwata-san, and saying, as a head, we all need to make sacrifices to make this work. And what happened? Nintendo did it. They came back with a Switch. They're freaking flying right now.
Dude, there is something...
And they did not have to let go of anybody to do so.
Yeah. There's something super important on the environment of a company, on its culture, and that is morale. When you put like ridiculous numbers and set those up to be your expectations, you're already demoralizing the team that could have been producing so much. Yeah. Because now they're not working because they're happy to work with, to finish this game. They're working because they're afraid. And that's where like shit happen and error or some people just don't care, and that's how you demoralize your team. Games come out bad, come out broken. They don't sell very well. And then you're blaming, you didn't make the 20 million, you didn't sell the 20 million units that we were expecting. You only sold 17. So we're going to have to make some cuts. Yep. And it's not going to be my bonus. It's going to be your bonus and your salary and your livelihood.
And this little cubicle you sit at, we're going to take this off.
Yeah, we're going to take, we're going to take this off. That's why.
It's a shame, man.
That's why this.
It's just so weird. It's just so weird to see it happen here.
And it's rotten that it's the gaming industry, because for the most part, if not the whole part, at least as far as I know, it is there are no unions. No, the moment that somebody comes with the idea of bringing a union, they get like shut down. They get put with propaganda and lies about how union could end up hurting them and stuff like that and this and that. And because suddenly you don't have the protection, the workforce does not have the protection. This is why the gaming industry is so fickle. Like one of the, if there's something I'm maybe sadly glad that I didn't pick as a career, is becoming someone on the gaming industry, like a programmer or something like that. Because I don't think I personally could handle not knowing if I'm going to have a check next year. Because unless I'm fucking Rockstar, like literally, like Rockstar, work for Rockstar, and they're not involved because even as you can see, Blizzard is suffering also now.
True. And we don't know what the fallout's going to be for Red Dead
Bethesda.
Redemption 2 because Red Dead Redemption 2 is not meeting. I mean, I don't know what their obviously they didn't say what their expectations are, but it doesn't look like it's selling as much. It's smelling great, you know what I'm saying, but it's not.
But maybe not meeting their unrealistic expectations.
Exactly. And who knows what those expectations are because I don't know if they've released those
they haven't.
whatever.
Yeah, they haven't mentioned. But I'm sure it's gonna come on so quarterly. Like when it's Take-Two's time
to earning call. Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that in the gaming industry, it's so difficult to feel like you have a secure job because of the way that everything is revolves. I mean, you could. You could be a hit studio and the next game doesn't hit your unimaginable expectations of the CEO, and next thing you know you're on the street because of that. And again, it's because that lack of protection. There are no unions.
Say, the movie industry for a long time didn't have that. They do have unions now, and a lot of people go, "Oh, how can that possibly work?" It's impossible to do when you're going across city lines, state lines, country lines.
Right.
It's like, well, the movie company has something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's in there. It's possible. It can work. But it did have to fight a long time to get that. You know what I mean? So and it has its downfalls. It has its issues as well.
True.
Nothing is perfect, but this still at least
you're still paying them also.
Of course. Yeah. So it is possible. I think it's just going to take time for them to get to that point. And it's going to take like some real. It's not just going to be people who are industry. It's going to take a company. It's going to take a major company to go, we're going to do this. We're going to start this, and it's going to work. And hopefully it's. I don't think it's going to be any of these guys. It'll probably be one of the more foreign companies who look out for their people, because it's clearly not going to be EA or Activision. No. But who knows?
And who knows? But I might say it might be Nintendo, but we don't know what Nintendo is nowadays. That Iwata-san is no longer there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Still, he set an interesting precedent by doing that.
Yes.
And that's not something you see. You don't see. Basically, you just don't see heads of companies do that. They say, you know what? I'm not going to take this. I'm going to take a pay cut so that the business, the company that I love, that I work for, will continue in the future. You know what I mean?
Activision was literally the first third-party company to ever exist making video games. The first third-party company. Think of 10 years ago, all the properties that they have with Guitar Hero, with of course Call of Duty, with Tony Hawk, with all those properties that they have, that they ran to the ground. They analyze it. They ran to the ground until they dissolve. And like it or not, Call of Duty is next. That's going to be the next one that is eventually going to stop.
Yeah. And it has been diminishing returns with that. It's still just a major player. You know what I mean? But it still has been diminishing.
It has been diminishing. At some point, it's going to be, they didn't sell to our expectations. Just like Battlefield didn't sell to expectations to EA.
Well, Call of Duty, the last one, technically didn't sell to expectations. It still did really, really well.
It did really well. Yeah.
But it's still under expectations, so it's already on the bubble, as they say. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah. So I guess there's no moral to this other than to give awareness. This is the way of the gaming industry it is right now, and especially if you're considering a career, this is what you should be thinking about heavily.
And not to any way discourage anyone from doing so.
No.
Because it's obvious that it's a very rewarding industry.
And if you like doing it, you like doing it. Yeah,
it's a love. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. See, if it is your passion, go for it. You could find yourself on a spot where you're very secure. Naughty Dog says hello, by the way, and they're probably hiring, and they have been, and yada yada. But just be just be mindful of who. If you own a gaming studio, be mindful of who you partner with. Yeah. And right now, Activision is the biggest gaming company that doesn't have any games.
Not for 2019.
Doesn't have any games.
I said again, Crash Team Racing.
Crash Team Racing.
Number one Activision game of the year.
And
calling it now.
That's it. That is. I mean, say what you will about fucking EA, because fuck EA, of course, but man, at least they have Anthem and they have Apex, and I'm sure that
the Battlefield 5 Battle Royale when it eventually comes out.
Yeah, that does something, and not DICE is on the chopping block because
I gotta say,
anyway,
DICE has to be like, what the hell? You know, when they saw Apex, come on, guys.
I know.
What are you doing?
Using the Source engine, the Source 2 engine, the same engine that powered Half-Life 2 from 2004. That is the same engine that they're using for Apex Legends, and it looks the way it looks. And then you have Frostbite with RTX if you have a PC and you have RTX and you can't even run it. It's hilarious.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of an awesome episode, the real episode 147. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please go to goodgame.tech, join the conversation there. And please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with all your friends. We appreciate that very much. This is Mad Dog signing off for this week. Mr. Santos, take us home.
Even though I work tomorrow early, I'm going to see if I can put at least...
Oh, you do work tomorrow? Okay.
I do. Yeah, I'm doing overtime tomorrow. I am going to see if I can put at least an hour of gameplay on Apex. On Anthem, actually.
Resident Evil 2? Okay.
Resident Evil 2. Yes,
okay.
yes.
Good stuff, right?
And I should have a preliminary report for the next podcast.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully. So be on the lookout for that.
All right, guys. So we'll see you next week.
GG!